How's everyone doing tonight? We are here live, coming to you from parts on. Oh dear. There we go. Let's kill the echo. Thank you. Rookie mistake. Excuse me. We are coming to you live. We're going to be discussing all things Doctor Who tonight. Tonight is the 60th anniversary of the show. We started back on November 23rd, 1963. And despite a few hiccups, the show has been in constant production, even though it was off the air for a fair bit. Unofficially retiring and coming back in 2005. But yeah, we're going to be talking Doctor Who tonight. We're waiting for Uncle Gutty here to do his sign off. He'll be joining us in a minute, as always, because Uncle Gutty's always fun to talk with, and he's as big a fan as I am, I think. It's a show that we kind of grew up on, and I think a lot of us grew up on it. If you're out there, drop a comment. Let us know that you're here, and get some of your opinions on the show and your first memories of the show and things like that. My first memory of Doctor Who is probably as a very young child being terrified of the introduction music, because up here in Canada, the show came on at 6:30 weeknights in Canada, and that came on right after Polka Dot Door. And Polka Dot Door was a show aimed at very young children. It taught you how to tell time, and it taught you how to color and sing songs and use your imagination and things like that. So it was definitely a kids show. To have Doctor Who show up right after that was a little unnerving, but right after Doctor Who, they'd have Magic Shadows, which was a classic movie presentations. And some of those were pretty scary, too. As kids, we were always afraid of...
Scary. Hey, Switz.
How we doing?
Doing great, man. Happy Doctor Who Day.
Happy Doctor Who Day. Good little stream over there for you.
That was a great little stream tonight, doing the old retro stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked OpenAI. We talked, we were getting into text-based adventure games.
Okay.
Having a lot of great fun with that, which I think I'll have to play one of those on stream. Elle was talking about that, so I'll
Didn't we covered RPG games and all that stuff months ago when we did our Sierra Quest Old Man Theater?
We did, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We touched it briefly anyways.
Yeah, well, we did a whole episode on it, I believe.
I'm old, I can't remember.
That's true. Me neither.
Did you have a favorite Sierra Quest version? Like I said, I was a Police Quest guy.
I liked Leisure Suit Larry, but yeah. I was terrible at the games. And basically, I think we went on the BBSs to find the cheats to figure out what the steps were that you needed to go.
Yeah.
Because a BBS was all that was around back then. That was our internet.
Yeah, I was able to crack Leisure Suit Larry eventually. Space Quest was easier, but Police Quest, if you missed one thing early on those early games, you had to restart from scratch.
Police Quest was super procedural, and if you didn't duck the guy's head as you were putting him into the back of the cop car, you lost points or whatever. I think, right? If
you handcuffed him in the front, you died.
No, yeah,
he killed you. You had to handcuff from the back because that's proper police procedure.
Yeah, because it was written by. I want to say Daryl Gates for whatever reason. The name that pops to mind.
It was Daryl Gates, yeah.
Who was the chief of the LA Police Department?
One time, yeah.
Yeah, and then wasn't he disgraced or whatever? I think
so.
I mean, that was a long time ago, so I don't remember what happened to Daryl Gates.
You hear here, folks. This is the way they actually police procedure.
Yeah,
but yeah, but Doctor Who never had an adventure game. Like a text-based game.
There were, but they were never like released. They were indie games. There were a lot of indie games, and they were kind of I want to say based on or borrowing from the theme of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that text game.
Douglas
And
remembers.
and they weren't very good.
No.
They were fan made, and the problem with anything fan made really is that if you're not in the mind of that fan, you're not going to be able to get all the clues and hints and things, because somebody's going to reference their favorite something. And if you don't remember that the combination to Kirk's safe was 42, 19, 12 in episode 42 of the original series, you're not going to be able to proceed or advance in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doug raises a good point. The pinball machines were awesome.
I don't remember two. I remember the one. I remember the one that came out in like I want to say like 1993.
Yeah. I had the virtual table I played, and it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that one was a tough game, but it was a fun one.
It was.
I remember we had it at the store for a while, and I just after my shift would pump quarters after quarters after quarters into it there because I had the keys, so I could.
I remember it being at a truck stop down.
I didn't have the keys to the machine, so I couldn't just do the thing, which would have been nice. But
exactly, yeah, the keys to the store,
so I could play pinball all night long if I wanted to.
But Doctor Who,
yes,
Guy's mic is half as loud as Switch. Yeah, because Switch is using his other mic here.
It's because
is that better, Hemi? I cranked it right up.
Maybe I just have more important things to say.
You got your lapel mics fixed. Is that better, Hemi? That sounds pretty loud. Gutty sounds the same to me.
There is a setting for matching volume or something like that in the studio here, right?
I don't know. Cancellation. I see it. Okay. Is that any better, Hemi?
How about now?
Well, yours sound a lot better.
Can you hear me now?
Sorry, I was lurking. I turned up the volume control. Switch is better.
All right, I turned mine down a bit there. Yeah.
Okay, I went in and disabled the volume control and put up to 150. I cranked up my mic here. Yes, Doctor Who, Old Man Theater.
Yes.
So it's been 60 years.
Yes,
and
60 fun-filled years.
And I saw David Tennant sum up Doctor Who in 15 seconds.
Okay.
He said they gave him 30 seconds, and he said I can do it in 15. Tennant was the 10th Doctor, which is, we'll get to that later. He says it's about an alien who travels through time and space in a wooden box, getting solving problems and having adventures. And he goes, done. I got 15 more seconds left.
Yeah. I'd like to order a sandwich, please.
Yeah. And that was basically the whole plot is
basically what it is.
Yeah, who traveled on a time machine.
Originally, remember, the show was started up as they thought it was going to become a history show or a way to teach children history by doing these time travel historical adventures. They went in the first episodes to caveman times and invented fire. And that was the plan until episode 2 or series 2 or story 2 or whatever you want to call it.
Story 2, yeah, I guess, yeah.
When Terry Nation's Daleks hit the screen, and the Daleks were just they were a phenomenon. They were sci-fi's Beatles. They were the most engaging alien menace that British TV had seen ever, and fans were drawn to them, kids were drawn to them, everyone was drawn to it, and that's what set the show down its science fiction path. I mean, they definitely did some more historical adventures and stuff like that, and that there are several reasons for that. But it was that second story that kind of turned it away from, we're not going to teach kids history, we're going to have fun and do sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, the other history aspect of it too was the BBC had a lot of history props laying around from its productions.
Budgetary.
And they said, do some history shows. We got props.
Yep.
Excuse me, and sets ready to go.
Yeah. You don't have to use your budget up on stuff because we've got it.
Yeah. And that's pretty much how the first couple of seasons went. He would travel through different times on Earth and elsewhere. Bally 92. I missed that. We're talking about pinballs here. I didn't see the second one.
Yeah. So I just like having this pinned up here because
Of course,
makes me feel good.
But it was an interesting show because it was done in a serial format, traditionally. You know, 4 or 5 episodes with a cliffhanger.
22-minute episodes.
Yeah, with the cliffhanger.
25-minute episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, it's a Pulp Pinball Arcade again. It's awesome. And yeah, launched in '63.
63. Yep.
And just seemed to catch on. It just was good.
It was something that they hadn't seen before.
And not to mention the fact that the performances were strong.
Yep. Performances were strong. The writing was solid.
Yep.
We look at these old shows now and we kind of laugh at the special effects because even on the DVDs, and I have them all, DVDs have like the info track that you can put on there as a subtitle selection. And it'll tell you little facts about this scene and the actor that's in it and something where they shot it and what night they did it on. But it'll also point out things like in 5 seconds, you're going to see the sets wobble because somebody bumped into it backstage. And incoming, here's the shadow of the boom mic. And we all kind of laugh about that stuff now. But you could get past that because the stories were so well done.
They were.
And yeah, okay, it's cheesy and cheap and budgety, but who cares? I'm enjoying the stories.
Okay, now we gotta go find that table. We gotta find that table.
Road trip?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye open for it, especially when it comes to House of Targ. I'm stuck for that information.
Yep.
But yeah, and there's a joke about the plastic
styrofoam
wrap,
monsters,
monsters and stuff like that.
Yep.
But no one really cared because, like you said, it was just solid.
Yeah. Before you joined in, I was talking about my first interactions with it, and I'm going to assume that yours were roughly the same. Polka Dot Door.
Actually, mine were a little different than yours.
Okay, all right.
I didn't have TVO like regularly where I was. I know TVO was something we get over the aerial back in the old days. Yeah,
exactly. Because there was a station in Toronto, and there was a station in Kitchener-Waterloo, and I want to say there was one in Kingston as well.
Yeah, I would say basically it was 84 for me. I'd go down to Rochester a lot to visit my grandmother, and I'd be up late watching whatever was on TV, and I'd wind up on PBS. And I stumbled across it on PBS about 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was a Tom Baker episode.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just brilliant, actually. I think the episode I was watching...
if you say Ark in Space, holy cow.
It was Ark in Space, actually. That's what I was watching.
Because that was the first one that I remember seeing.
Yeah, it was the first time I saw it was Ark in Space. I didn't know what was going on.
The worm falling out of the cabinet of the thing and landing on Sarah there.
And then
terrifying as a kid.
And so then whenever I go down to Rochester, I knew that if I put it on the weekend on channel 21, PBS, Doctor Who would be on.
Yep.
Now what I wasn't prepared for was when he regenerated and became
Peter Davidson,
because I couldn't watch him sequentially. I just would watch him whenever. So I tuned in, heard the same theme song.
That would have been roughly real time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Heard the same theme song.
Yep.
Saw the opening and like, who is this guy? But he had the same time machine, had the same manner and all that. And then later on, I realized is that the Doctor, who's the main alien time traveling character, can regenerate to change his appearance and all that.
Which was a brilliant piece of writing, and a series saving and life saving idea. Because back in the 60s, William Hartnell played the first Doctor, and he loved doing it, but was at times afraid of being typecast. But he was also his health was going downhill because he was older, even at the time. So they came up with this regeneration idea where he was an alien. They didn't even have an alien race name for him yet, but he was just an alien, and they decided that one of the abilities that this alien race had was to regenerate when their body wore out. A massive burst of energy, and the cells regenerated into new cells, and they became a new person. And it was great because you could then just recast your star, and the show would continue on. And that was great for when an actor wanted to get out of it. But it was also great when it came to contract negotiation time. If your star wanted too much money, you could say, well, we can just regenerate you. We can have any new actor come in and take over.
We could replace you, and it would be no other difference.
Yeah. And the show will carry on.
And truth be told, no actor wanted to stay in Doctor Who for too long. Like, British actors aren't like American actors. Like, I want to stay in a role. They want to change it up. Duncan talks about the Mind Robber. Season 6. That was
Was that the one with the Master? No, that was the one with Troughton.
It was Troughton, yeah.
I'm thinking of Mind of Evil for a second there. But Mind Robber, that was the one with the Storybook Land.
Yes, it was.
Yes. And that was a great little bit of funny casting in that one, because there was an episode or two where Fraser Hines was not Jamie McCrimmon in it because I think he had dental surgery or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And had to go off. So rather than write him out of the episode, because it would have been very difficult to rewrite everything, they had him turn into a picture, which became a puzzle, and then they had to put the puzzle back together, but the doctor put it together wrong, and his face ended up different. So they had a different actor play him for like 2 episodes.
And we just rolled with it because it was Doctor Who.
Yeah, you just went with it. Okay, that's cool.
So, obviously, you can tell that me and Switz have devoured every piece of Doctor Who out there, and everybody's stories.
Speaking of devouring,
you got jelly babies?
I got my jelly babies. And if Farm Boy is out there listening, get these back in stock in St. Catharines. Come on.
So
I'm running out.
There's 26 seasons of the original series.
Yep.
From 63 to 89.
Yep.
So that's the original series, which is pretty good.
Now, I was going to say they did anniversary shows every once in a while there too. Yes. And we're on the 60th anniversary now. They did a 10th anniversary episode, which was the 3 Doctors. They did a 20th anniversary episode, which was the 5 Doctors.
Yeah.
25th anniversary was Silver Nemesis.
Yep.
That was the Cyberman episode, but silver for Silver Anniversary. But which was interesting because they didn't include any other Doctors in it. It was just a single Doctor story, but they brought back a classic villain, one that we hadn't seen for a couple years.
Yeah, these anniversary stories were like the Super Bowl for us because we got to see multiple Doctors in an episode, which was like, because through time travel we could do that. So it was like our Super Bowl. We saw these things.
You know what I find funny about those multi-Doctor stories is that they got it wrong. Always, because Hartnell's Doctor, who was playing the first Doctor, whatever, always was the one to solve the problem because he was the oldest looking. But if you followed the show along, he was the youngest Doctor, because all the further ones, even though they looked younger, they were actually older and later on in the timeline. So theoretically, Pertwee's Doctor should have been the smartest and most able one in 3 Doctors, instead of having hints from the first Doctor. And even in the 5 Doctors, the first Doctor shouldn't have been the one to solve everything. It should have been the 5th Doctor that solved everything, because he was the oldest version and the most learned, most experienced, and wisest one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? So it was just kind of funny how they did that.
There, I fooled around my microphone a bit. Is that any better, or is that too loud now?
I can hear you.
I know you can hear me. I was with the audience at home.
Me as well, but that's because I'm
yeah. So, like I said, thanks, Al. So there is the classic Who, which we call it. I know I had the wrong microphone on. Forgive me. The classic Who, which ran from 63 to 89, the 7 Doctors and all that.
Then the show didn't get canceled. Just went into hiatus.
Nope. It was never canceled.
No. Came back on TV in 2005. Excuse me. The best part about the show and the best part about the fandom was that the fandom never let it die.
No.
There were comic books and magazines still being produced. and books galore. Print really took over and filled in or continued the story for a long, long time.
It really did.
99 when we had the TV movie, which was the joint BBC US production.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's talk about the new series real briefly. So, yeah, 05 till now it's been going on, and if you're new to Doctor Who, I recommend you start with the 05 series with Chris Eccleston. I remember you start there. Yeah, they put on hiatus for various reasons. More like basically like, budgeting and money and just kind of put in the back burner. But as Swit said, they're still making money off of it. Yeah, Mindhunter. Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, between 89 and when was the Fox movie?
99.
99. It was just there, and all of a sudden,
that's for the millennium, right?
Yeah, all of a sudden we got so excited we're getting a Doctor Who movie. Awesome.
Which we were all hoping would spawn a resurgence of the series.
Yeah, we did.
It didn't.
Produced by Fox, Strike One. Produced by Americans, Strike Two, and it went down from there. I'll tell you what, that Fox, the movie, you can go out and find it. It's out there. The Last Doctor that was broadcast, number 7,
officially recognized by the BBC as being canon. So
it is canon. Yeah, as rough as it is. I'll tell you what, the performances are rough. The story's rough.
Yes.
Oh, you want to know how that story is? I think my man of Steven Spielberg got involved.
No, Steven Seagal, not Kung Fu Steven Seagal, but another Steven Seagal, wasn't it?
I want to say that. Look real quick. I thought for sure that Spielberg got involved or something like that. Somebody big got involved. Oh, well, okay. So you're right. Philip Seagal got involved.
Okay, yeah.
But there was promises that
the writer and whatever of it.
Yeah, that this could go bigger basically, and there was rumor that Spielberg was involved at one time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of promises are being made. You're right. It was Seagal.
I want to say Spielberg was rumored to be floating for the Scratchman Tom Baker movie that they were floating about for ages that never happened.
That too, but I know there's a lot of rumors at the time. But the fact that Seagal made promises, but he finally got it committed though. He was trying to shoot for a series, but he got one movie out of it, and Fox did it. Again, Hemi. Fox is a different beast back in that time. Fox was cutting edge, right?
Fox was entertainment. That was all it was.
Fox is going to take chances. They're the ones that says we'll take a shot at this.
Fox was the one pushing the envelope to be the fourth network.
Yep. So 96, what do they do here? They spent let me see, $5 million. Fox chipped in 2.5, and BBC chipped in 300,000. With 2.2 being split by a larger BBC company and stuff like that. But they made it. They aired it. The original 7th Doctor from the last series was there.
Yep.
He regenerated it into Paul McGann, who was excellent.
Yep.
And the Americanization it didn't land, unfortunately.
It soured with the fans.
Yeah. If anyone has experienced Americanized versions of stuff, like Red Dwarf.
Sorry, America.
Yeah, Red Dwarf.
Sometimes you shouldn't touch things.
What was that? One of those with the werewolf, the vampire, and the ghost was also Americanized. Being Human.
Being Human, yeah.
Yeah, Broadchurch got Americanized. It was
in the worst way, because they even brought David Tennant over.
Yeah, it just didn't land properly. So needless to say,
copied everything from the first series.
Yeah. See here. Trial. It did do well. It
drew big numbers because it was the first time it was on TV in ages, and it did ratings, but it didn't do enough to catch on to get picked up by anything.
No.
Yeah.
Being Human, was basically not the same, and So, but we were starved and whatever. But we got it back in 2005. But here's an interesting twist. Paul McGann, who played a doctor once on screen in that movie, had a second career playing the Doctor number 8 in Audio Ventures by Big Finish. Big Finish started up
because it was the same crew
Yeah.
who were writing the novels now decided, wait a minute, we can do audio adventures, we can do radio stories. Fantastic, let's do it.
So they started, between the period of the Fox movie and the new series,
Yep.
they started doing stories from number 5, 6, 7, 8 Doctors, and it really fleshed out. It fleshed out Paul McGann's Doctor Number 8 and gave the other Doctors a more character, and it's incredible. When you look at it, and now Paul McGann got a small like mini episode with the recent Doctor Who to help bridge the gap of his regeneration, so forth, to fit him in the mythos. Switz and I met him
for the 50th anniversary. They did the Night of the Doctor, which was a quick 5-minute little special that had him in it to show what happened between his last appearance and basically before the not before the beginning of the new series, but the retrofit history that they made for the new series.
But they got him in.
Directly into the 50th anniversary special.
Yeah. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's free to watch. And this guy didn't miss a beat.
You said we met him at Niagara Falls Comic Con. That was 2017?
2017.
Maybe. I think. I can't remember.
Around there, yeah.
But he was an incredibly nice guy. He was super fantastic to meet. Yeah, I loved talking to him.
Me too. We met all the Doctor Who's, but Paul McGann, like I said, he's been in one movie, one mini episode, and several audio adventures. Plus, he's been in other BBC materials.
He returned for an episode last season as well.
He did, as a little bit part there.
So now that he's canon, he's official. He's been in the episodes on TV.
Yeah, but he is not like, I don't want to talk about Doctor Who. He says, I want to talk about Doctor Who. He deeply appreciative of Doctor Who and the fandom. Yep. And all of them are, actually. We met 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yep.
I need to go 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I had a chance to meet Bacaldi, but it was too expensive. I actually saw Taya hug Matt Smith, so I saw that.
Yep.
But the classic actors are deeply appreciative of their fans.
And all of them, like not just the Doctors, but the companions. Because the companions were us. They were the humans. They were the audience. They were the ones who were being saved by the Doctor. They were the ones who were being led around on these adventures by the Doctor. They were the ones who we were supposed to relate with.
Absolutely. And that's that was part of the show, because it wasn't just human companions. Could be alien companions, robot companions,
robot dogs,
so for robot dogs. But yeah, if you're gonna start watching this series, I do recommend it, because it is good, fun character drama. You don't have to be a sci-fi fan. My Amazing Life, TXS mom, watched the first Eccleston's the 09 reboot with me, and she was hooked because the stories were good and the characters were good. And so I recommend you start there. Tenet, she watched because Tenet's very, very, very sexy. So that's another story there.
and had fantastic stories written for him.
Yeah.
And embraced the role and loved it.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was all on the screen.
Yeah. Watch the first 3 seasons of the new stuff, and if you like it, start exploring some of the older stuff. I wouldn't even recommend watching them in order. In my opinion, the older stuff. I would maybe start with some of the better stories. What do you think?
You can easily Google lists to see what the top rated stories are, the top fan stories are. Mm-hmm. There are millions of lists out there, I'm sure.
Yeah. And the best part about the old stuff, you can watch it out of order. Very few of it is tied together, except for the 6th Doctor season. It's the whole season is his whole episode.
Oh yeah, Trial of the Time Lord, that one, yes.
Yeah, but you can just watch them out of order, and they're great.
To a degree.
To a degree. Yeah, to a degree. Some are starting.
I mean, to a degree, you can watch them out of order.
Yeah.
Because there were some seasons that had overreaching arcs. Like you had the Key to Time season where they had a quest for the entire season.
That's
you
true.
Had the unit years with Pertwee where he was trapped on Earth.
I watched them out of order. Those things work.
Yeah, but you kind of have to watch those ones before you watch his other ones, because you don't understand why he can't just leave a lot of times.
Doctor Who also has a habit of back referencing stuff with in jokes and stuff. So, it doesn't matter a lot for the newer fans, but us older fans are like, yeah. But sometimes you might get the whole joke. You gotta watch all the older stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I loved about the reboot, the Tennant seasons, and that they always seem to throw back to a classic monster in some of those episodes.
Absolutely.
They brought Macra, which was
a throwaway
nothing
monster.
Yeah, from a one episode Patrick Troughton story, and
Second Doctor.
Yeah, that was lost. No one had seen it in 40 years or whatever it had been at the time, because back in the day, the BBC had this policy of destroying their old episodes or either junking them or reusing the film because they needed film and they needed space.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Doctor Who lore you understand is there are actually lost episodes that they have scripts for or ideas for, but as Switz said, they just reused the tapes, they threw them out.
Yeah, they a lot of times, I believe they have the audio for all of them, because back in the 60s there were no VCRs.
No.
People would, kids especially, would set up their tape recorders beside the TV and record the show so that they could play it back at bedtime or play it back the next day and see what happened, because there were no reruns at the time either.
Really? I didn't realize that, Duncan. That makes sense, though. There's 97 missing episodes altogether.
Yep.
A handful have been recreated with animation.
Yep. And I like the animation.
Animation is good.
Yep. It's great because they're just using these. A lot of fans have provided the dialogue or the audio for it because they want their show to live on and be seen, and they've given the BBC or the powers that be the copies of their audio recordings so that they could reconstruct the actual dialogue with the actual actors.
Yes, Hemi is right. Just recently, someone has come forward saying, "I have episodes in a private collection."
Yeah,
and they want assurance it won't be confiscated when they come forward. They'll be safe from any prosecution for having stolen, because it is technically stolen property.
Yeah. It depends how they got them.
Exactly.
If they picked them up out of a rubbish bin, well, what's really stolen about your garbage? I mean, I could charge the can pirate that comes by my recycling every week and picks up all the tin cans. Theft.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they said just give them to us, because every time a new episode is found, it's like a big victory for us. And as Switz has mentioned, they're found in television stations in other countries. Like some were found in Africa because they were broadcast in Africa. They're just sitting on the shelf.
A bunch in New Zealand, although they were edited. There were some things that were censored out of them and edited out of them, the New Zealand ones, I think.
Yeah. But they're literally just either found that way or, like I said, it's crazy, but they're still finding them today.
Yeah.
And
which is great, which is promising. You'd like to think that somebody went and saw this happening and scooped them all up and just took them home.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Isn't one of the key episodes missing the first Doctor's regeneration or something like that?
Yeah.
Or one of the regeneration?
There are clips of that still, but the whole episode is not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say it was horror stuff because of the time slot when they broadcast it, and because it was marketed as a kids program or a youth program. So I want to say that there were some scenes where there was some violence or whatever, and so not horror but violence, I think it was what it was that got censored out.
Poor Diego was blasphemy. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Interesting fact, though, the new season is promised to bring back. Looks like the Celestial Toymaker is a villain.
Yes.
Who was a toy maker in one of the old episodes,
Yep.
Junior Classic.
Patrick Troughton episode, or sorry, William Hartnell episode.
And guess what? Episodes 1 to 3 of that series is one of the missing
Oh, yeah.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're talking about? Are you talking about Blink, Emmy?
Oh yeah.
Which was a season 3 episode.
One of the best Doctor Who episodes.
A very great episode, which didn't really even feature the Doctor, which was really a stretch for the writing and really inventive and really cool. Because there were several episodes with the Angels, but that one with Blink, with I want to say Carey Mulligan, was
Mulligan.
Incredible. Yep.
And that was probably the spookiest ones I can recall.
Yeah.
And
yep. Although Midnight was right freaky.
Midnight was right freaky too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So the joke was they called it some monsters Doctor Who hide behind the couch monsters.
Yeah.
Because when they came on, the kids would hide behind the couch. The Daleks were actually terrifying at one point. And the Angels, the Angels are actually kind of freaky too.
Yeah. In Blink they were. Eventually, I think they got kind of watered down and overused. In my opinion, and I don't know if this is popular or not, you had Russell T Davies do series 1 through 4 in the specials, I believe it was. So you had him do the Christopher Eccleston year and the David Tennant years. Mm-hmm. And then he stepped down and was replaced by Stephen Moffat, who was a scriptwriter and had written some of the best episodes, including Blink, and some other fantastic episodes. And he took over for Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, so Doctors 11 and 12, plus the intervening 50th anniversary special. He wrote that. I think the show took a downward turn when he took over because while I was a fan of his writing, I was not a fan of his show running. I think that he needed someone to rein him in and control his ideas a little bit better than he could do it himself. Some of the stories I thought were just terrible. I
agree.
And not necessarily the ones that he wrote, but some of the ones that he let happen because he was busy doing his own overreaching arches for the stories. And I think that some of the other stories suffered a lot because of his overall view. And I just don't think that he was the right one to run the show.
Yeah, so the modern era, like as Swit said, has had 3 showrunners who oversaw the show and guided it. Yeah. Davies got it going, and he kind of, time for a change. Moffat was a strong story writer at the time during the Russell T Davies. He took it over and it for a while, and then really kind of stumbled. And then the last one.
Some of those stories I have not rewatched because they were hard to watch.
No, same.
I did not enjoy them. Even
then,
and I feel bad about that because I did enjoy Matt Smith a lot of the time, but to me, both him and Peter Capaldi they had moments of greatness, but they were very hard to rewatch.
It was like, so put it this way, folks, you got to sit through the bad stuff to get the good stuff. And there's a lot of bad stuff. Mm-hmm. I will be so bold as to say by the 6th or 7th season, you can feel the show stumbling and just never really kind of recovered to greatness.
RTD had overreaching arcs, but they were hidden and subtle. They weren't right in your face. They weren't building towards it episode after episode after episode. So you could theoretically watch a lot of his seasons out of order, as long as you put the finales at the end, because there were just little hints that dropped leading up to the finale. Whereas Moffat's years, you had to watch them in order because they built up to the finales. Mm-hmm. And they focused more on that build-up part of the story, and that took away from the story itself they were trying to tell in each episode, I think.
You're too busy looking for the big story.
A great episode, or Dinosaurs on a Spaceship could have been a great episode, but they had to cram in and take an extra 5 minutes out of these episodes to put whatever they were building towards into them.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, folks, you can watch the first 3 seasons and it'll be like skating on ice, smooth as silk, and enjoyable watch. You can actually see it starting to get more complicated, as Greg said, as it goes on. I had a hard time watching the last 2 seasons. A really hard time.
And this was when
Writing-
Chris Chibnall took over.
Yeah, and again, he is a strong TV writer.
He wrote a few episodes of Doctor Who, and he wrote a bunch of Torchwood episodes, which was
But he
the
can't run a
no.
show to save his life. The last 2 seasons were so
He
hard to
also-
watch.
Sorry, he also wrote
Yeah.
Broadchurch, didn't
He did, yeah.
he?
But
yeah.
it was just so hard to watch the last 2 seasons. And I feel bad because Jodie Whittaker is a good doctor. The companions were good. But some of the stories are just like...
They dropped the ball a few times. You have to give them a little bit of slack because one of those seasons was done during the pandemic, and
True.
it was very hard to do things with that season.
True.
You say the companions were good. I think that they ran into the problem of having too many companions during her time.
I said they were good. I didn't say they were great.
Okay, all right.
It
There were too many of them, and too many of them thins the story down.
was 4.
And
Yeah.
there were a few episodes where they forgot who their companions were. There was the one episode where you had the mirror universe or whatever in the cottage in Norway or whatever the heck it was. Remember that one?
Remember that one.
There was the young girl who was hiding from the monsters, had monster traps up or whatever around her house, and whatever happened, and everybody was, her father was off in the parallel universe through the mirror or whatever it was. At one point, they all go through the mirror to see what's going on, but they left Ryan with the girl, which made no sense at all. I know that they were trying to push the relationship story between the Doctor and Yaz, but put that aside for a minute and think about your writing. Because Yaz was supposed to be a police officer. Who do you decide to leave with a scared young child in the middle of the woods all alone? You leave her with Ryan, who was just a guy off the street. You leave her with him. You don't leave her with the police officer.
He
You
also had
don't
disability,
leave her
too.
with the train. Yeah. You don't leave her with the person that should be trained in some level of this, being able to handle this. And that just seems like if you can't figure that part out, you shouldn't be writing a lot of this. And that really spelt or showed me that the show was not in great hands at that time.
The other thing, too, to keep in mind, too, is the Doctor is not a romantic, not a romancer. He is a time-traveling alien who is above us for all intents and reasons, intellectually and all that. So trying to create this romantic thing, I know everybody wanted, even in the early episodes. You know, I just felt that the Jodie Whittaker's Doctor was not close to the Doctor qualities, and that was more the writing than anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you the tough question now.
All right.
Can I say it? Pick your 3 favorite Doctors.
My 3 favorite Doctors?
I can't say one because you know it's going to be Baker. Tom Baker.
Well, yeah. My 3 favorite.
It's hard to say your 3 favorite, isn't it?
Well, I know who 2 of them are right away.
Tom Baker. Tom Baker.
I didn't say that.
I know he's on the list. You know he's your top 2, man. Unless I could be wrong.
You could be wrong.
Okay, I could be wrong.
Could be wrong. I think that Doctor Who's are like James Bond's.
Oh,
That your first one is usually your favorite.
absolutely.
So in the case of James Bond, Sean Connery, because you saw Goldfinger first, or you saw Thunderball first, or whatever, or Roger Moore because you saw Live and Let Die first.
I saw The Spy Who Loved Me first, so Roger Moore is one of my top Bonds. Just
There
because.
you go. Yeah. I think that the Doctor is the same way, and whichever one you saw first is the one that you enjoy the most and is usually your favorite. The first one I saw was Tom Baker.
Same.
He's a very high on my list, but he's not my favorite.
He's also the longest running Doctor, so odds are that was your first Doctor.
Now, I had mentioned earlier that I first saw the show as a child on TV Ontario.
Yes.
That's not when I got hooked on the show.
No.
I got hooked on the show in the mid-90s because I was working at the video store 4 to midnight every night or every whatever. And by the time we got out of work, it was 1:30, whatever it was, would get home. You couldn't sleep when you got home from work that late. You were still wound up. You had to do something to burn off that energy. You'd flip channels and see what was on TV. And at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever the heck it was, I stumbled into seeing Doctor Who on YTV up here in Canada.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was where I got into it and became a diehard fan.
Wow.
And my first Doctor that I watched there all the way through was John Pertwee, number 3. And he is my favorite.
Well, here's something for you, my friend.
Yep.
I did not get hooked on it during the TVO era either.
Okay.
Guess when I got hooked on it?
You got hooked on it. I don't know.
Someone had videotapes of Doctor Who.
Oh.
Someone loaned those tapes to me.
Yep.
With the commercials edited out.
I wonder who that was.
I wonder who that was, yes.
I wonder who that was.
Did someone take them off of YTV?
Yes, they did.
You loaned me the tapes to university, and I started binge watching them.
Yep.
And that's when I got really hooked on Doctor Who.
Yep.
Yeah, so Pertwee is your favorite.
Pertwee is my favorite.
Pertwee
my other top 3, I would have to go David Tennant, number 10.
Yep.
I don't know where David Tennant, number 14, will fall in. And then for number 3, I don't know because I love them all, but I would almost think a tie between number 9 and number 4, Eccleston and Baker.
Very, very good choice, actually.
Because they're, even though Eccleston only did 1 season, he was phenomenal, and the characterization was perfect. The writing was tight and succinct, and everything just clicked for that first season to bring it back perfectly.
Without Eccleston, if that season had failed, we would not have got more Doctor Who.
No. Yeah.
Well, you probably guess my top 3 anyways.
I'm going to, for you,
Yes.
I'm going to guess 4, 6, and 10.
Close. 6 and 10, yes.
Yep.
4, believe it or not, I don't mind Tom, but I'm not an overly crazy Tom Baker fan.
Yep.
6, 10, definitely.
Yep.
But I am going to go with Capaldi, believe it or not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So top list for me is number 6, Colin Baker.
Yep.
He had a very rocky broadcast history as Doctor Who because the BBC didn't like Doctor Who at the time.
Yeah.
They tried to actually sabotage it by giving it bad scripts, a bad costume, everything to make this thing
Changing
fail.
the time slots a bit.
Yeah. So Colin Baker's broadcast episodes don't really sing with a lot of people, and they also made him portray a mad, violent doctor, which was not Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Where Colin Baker does sing as a doctor is on the Big Finish Audio Ventures, which I listen to a lot of. And his doctor really shines in that one. And I talked to him at the con about them, and we both agreed that one of my favorites, called Arrangements for War, was one of his favorites as well. He called it. And it's basically, he gets involved, it's like Romeo and Juliet between 2 warring planets. And it was really good. So Colin Baker, number 6, is my top. David Tennant, there's no question. Eccleston, as much as I love Eccleston, and he was good, and I do like him, Tenet, there's just no denying the 10th Doctor, seasons 2 through 3, 4, whatever.
Yep.
Man, those are key. Those are key Like Tenet is the Doctor, and he's
Yeah.
There's not really one bad episode in a Tenet episode, in my opinion.
Even Love and Monsters wasn't that bad.
Even that's the worst, but it's still bearable. And
because again, that was kind of that was first season of his, so that was kind of their first experiment with a doctorless episode.
it was, and it was just something I think they threw in as kind of a love. And Capaldi, who was number 13,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Or 12,
Capaldi-
sorry. 12.
12, yeah. Yes, right,
Yeah.
12th Doctor. So it was a bit of a radical departure because his first few episodes, you weren't sure if he was evil or
Yeah.
immoral.
Yeah.
And I love that take as a Doctor because,
Hey, he's an alien.
yeah, exactly.
not? Yeah.
And but he grew basically into a proper Doctor later on.
Mhm.
But some of his episodes I
He was
just
Cutthroat at times, he was.
very
Yeah.
cutthroat at times.
Yeah.
But like just some episodes, I absolutely love his delivery. Like I said, I love them all. Like Matt Smith, I love them all. Basically, there's no
Yeah.
Doctor who I don't really dislike,
No.
but those ones are my 6, 10, and 12 are my favorite.
Yep.
Absolutely. I wish we could talk about best episodes, but I think we would spoil some for people.
If we were to run through each Doctor and just name our favorite episode,
Ooh. We can do it from the new. How about we do it? Want to do it from the new series or old series or all series?
we'll start from the beginning. Doctor number 1, William Hartnell.
Okay.
My favorite episode would probably have to be the one with the meddling monk.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yep. Even though it didn't include a classic monster or anything like that, it was almost a historical episode. But the meddling monk was a fellow traveler with his own TARDIS, who was another member of the Doctor's race, who we didn't know, who still had no name.
Okay.
And I thought that was just a great episode because one, it brought Steven into the show, and they were trying to prove to this doubter that they traveled in time, and it was just seeing another member of the Doctor's species, and seeing that there was this history to the character that we didn't even know, or hinting at. It was just cool.
I would go with the Daleks. That's my
Okay.
favorite first one.
Yep.
I do like the speech he gives as before he regenerates. That's good.
Yeah.
The Daleks is an all-around solid first season episode, like first Doctor episode, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
Second,
And the one that launched it all, really.
exactly. The second Doctor is going to be interesting. I'm going to go with the Tomb of the Cybermen.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one.
I could easily go with that one. War Games was fantastic because it was a 10 episode story.
War Games is a pretty solid, pretty far up there actually.
And one of my favorite companions was Zoe, played by Wendy Bradbury, because she was a departure from the classic Maiden in Distress and Scream Queen companions that they had with like Victoria and with Vicky and stuff, who were there to get in trouble and all that. She was a genius, and she was the Doctor's equal when it came to that. I would go with either that one or with the Invasion.
Invasion is good too.
The Invasion was another Cyberman story set on Earth with the Brigadier.
Yeah.
Yep. And one of those two I would have to go with. But I'm leaning towards War Games. Again,
Morgan's
because
is pretty solid.
you also had, well, it was his final episode, Patrick Troughton. It was an epic length, and you again got more aliens from the Doctor's same species, and this is when we learned what the Doctor was, that he was a Time Lord.
Yeah, exactly. It fleshed it all in, kind of thing.
Yep. So I did really enjoy it. Maybe I enjoy it because it was historically significant.
It's true.
Yeah.
Third Doctor's gonna be a hard one because Pertwee. There's a lot of good episodes with the Third Doctor. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Considering that he was Earthbound because of budgeting, but story reasons, he was punished.
Yep.
Lot of good episodes here to watch.
His entire first season was excellent, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
I could pick all of them or any of them as my favorite any day of the week.
My favorite's in his first. Yeah, my favorite is in his first season.
Spearhead from Space was fantastic. It showed us the Doctor landing and getting used to his new personality. Yep. And they really kind of focused on the action and the sci-fi adventure and the science with this Doctor more than they had in the past.
Yes.
And mystery solving.
He is very much like James Bond, in my opinion.
James Bond or Sherlock Holmes.
A combination of both, as I would describe the Third Doctor.
Yeah.
That's a good place for if people want to really get into the classic stuff. Start the Third Doctor. It's solid.
Yep. Inferno is fantastic.
That's my favorite.
It's a toss up between the two of them for me.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah. But then I also loved like Monster Peladon and Curse of Peladon. Those were great episodes, and it was nice to see them actually return to a planet they'd been to before, and
absolutely.
not include the Daleks.
That's true.
Yep.
Tom Baker's got a lot of long seasons, and
yeah.
And as you look through them, no offense, some of them are kind of comical.
Yeah.
But that was a Tony set, though, right?
Yeah. I would have to go with either City of Death or Stones of Blood.
Interesting. Now,
Blood being part of the Key to Time season, both episodes having a Romana in them. City of Death being written by Douglas Adams, of course.
Of course, that's why that's pretty strong right there.
And it was a clever sci-fi heist idea. I'm going to go back and shadow myself through time, and I'm going to have this past version of myself make multiple have Da Vinci make multiple copies of the Mona Lisa that are all authentic, so that I can sell them in the future.
It's very solid that way. A lot of people point to the talents of Wang Chung as a key episode.
Yep.
My favorite, I know it's going to sound dumb, I like Genesis of the Daleks.
Yes.
We see how the Daleks come to be, and the Doctor gets mixed up with them, and his chance to actually stop them. And it's fun.
Do I have the right?
Actually, I went and saw that for its anniversary, like his 25th anniversary on the big screen or something like that.
Oh, nice.
30th anniversary on the big screen, and it was 200 Doctor Who fans watching it. It was awesome and fun, but I know it won't be basically, I don't think, a lot of people's great episodes, but it's my favorite episode. Like Genesis of Daleks.
No, it is up there as an all-time great episode because it was a key moment in the show's history.
And as you mentioned too, this was also the season they did the Key of Time arc.
That wasn't.
No, I mean this was the Doctor. Pardon me. Where the season was a Key of Time arc. Pardon me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you see the latest Children in Need special?
I did actually.
And they've recast Davros, who was in Genesis of the Daleks, obviously.
Well, yeah. Exactly.
And they've backtracked and changed things because before Davros was in a hover chair, a mobility chair, a wheelchair, whatever you want to call it, because I don't remember if they ever really said why, I mean, if you looked at him, he looked like a mutation, and he looked pretty scarred up and damaged, and was probably involved in some science accident.
So what had happened is I read this basically in the novels and the stories and all this.
Yep.
Is he was in a bunker that was shelled by the enemy
Falls.
the Falls, right?
Yep.
He survived through quote spite and technology. That's what happened to him. That's what basically that's what was driving him. That's the actual
Okay.
story behind it. Yeah.
They've backtracked a bit now with this latest special and made him not deformed or anything, and he's walking with two proper legs, because they didn't want the idea that a handicapped person was always evil.
Yeah, and it was hard. Like a lot of people will play hard and fast the rules, and I think that's counting on too that a lot of people won't watch the old stuff.
Yeah,
which is okay. But there's a lot of good Baker episodes
in the rebooted season.
Yeah, but like I said, I do think the Third Doctor, John Pertwee's episodes are the most watchable back to back.
Yeah, oh yeah,
without question.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth Doctor, I've had a hard time picking out a favorite episode.
He was probably my least favorite.
I hate to say it, I got to agree there.
Mm-hmm.
He just seemed unsure of himself in some case, like not as confident as most doctors were, basically.
Yeah. Would it be cheating to say that my favorite of his era was the Five Doctors?
I was gonna say if you're gonna go that way, but did the crossover? I wouldn't say that was out of the ordinary. I think I
would maybe go Modern Undead, because it had the Brigadier in it, and it had split time zones and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was a fun episode, and it threw back to some of my favorite characters.
I'd go with that or the Arc of Infinity. I'd go with that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, Colin Baker. This is a hard one because
Two Doctors.
Two Doctors. Oh, I must admit that. Yeah, that's right.
Me,
there.
Two Doctors. Yep.
I gotta say, having seen him in is it Troughton again? Two?
What's that?
Yeah. Was it two, Troughton?
Yes. Yes.
Having them together was a lot of fun, actually.
Yes. Yep. And for a change, they lightened up the Sixth Doctor's outfit. Sorry, they took away the coat, and they just let him wear half of his costume. Yeah. So he looked a lot more normal. He could fit into modern day Earth on this one and not get weird looks as like, why is this guy wearing this patchwork coat?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it was necessary. It's the same, like they had the one episode where he wore the blue coat, all that stuff.
One time, and
that worked a lot better as well.
It did. But like I said, the BBC really did like Doctor Who at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Seven Dr. McCoy, who was a lot of fun.
Yep.
I'm
going to go Remembrance of the Daleks.
I was going to go with Remembrance of the Daleks too. That was good.
Yep. Remembrance of the Daleks, or go Battlefield again, Brigadier, and throw back to the classic or the much earlier classic series. I love that. Silver Nemesis was decent, but I would probably go Remembrance of the Daleks.
I'd go that for sure. Second would be Happiness Patrol.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna right back, Greg. I'm gonna take a little.
I was gonna say Mel was very underrated as a
absolutely. She was a strong companion, in my opinion.
Yeah. She is coming back, I think, for something, isn't she?
I heard she is actually.
Yeah, Bonnie Langford. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes.
All right. Walking the dogs or taking himself out for a relief break. I'm not sure, but we'll keep going here. We're talking all things Doctor Who tonight. I don't know who's out there. If you're out there still, drop a note. Let us know you're there. Do you have a favorite episode? Do you have a favorite Doctor? Are you being introduced to the show for the first time by us? And if so, watch the episodes we've recommended. We should probably make a list of them and let them show up on the feed here so you can actually go back and see them and have some sort of a record of them. I think that'd be a good idea. Wish I thought of it earlier. We thought of it now. Excuse me. We'll wait till Uncle Gutty gets back there, and we'll jump ourselves into the modern era, also known as New Who, and we'll talk about some of the great episodes there as well. We should probably do another episode where we talk about the worst episodes of Doctor Who, because there are some clunkers out there. But you know what? We're here to celebrate the show, so let's not be negative. Let's just think about all the fun that we've had with it. Excuse me. Yeah, like I say, the show is just, to me, an incredible feat of writing, and the strong writing is what I personally am there for. I'm going to jot down here in the comments just quickly what our favorite episodes were. So, First Doctor, I'm going to say my favorite episode was, oh, poop, I've forgotten. Oh, The Meddling Monk. But the story had a different name. I'm going to actually look that up quickly because I want anyone out there who's looking for these to actually be able to find them. It was The Time Meddler. So that was my favorite there. And then for the second Doctor, my favorite episode was War Games, or The Invasion. And for the third Doctor, all of the first season was the best. So I would have to go with Spearhead from Space or Inferno. Both excellent episodes in the first season of the third Doctor, Jon Pertwee. The fourth Doctor, City of Death, or Winds of Blood. Fifth Doctor, I crapped out and went with the Five Doctors. But Peter Davison did have good episodes, absolutely. To think back to another one, though, that really stands out. I think my other choice was Modern Undead. And I may have spelled that wrong. Sixth Doctor, I had chosen the two Doctors, and I believe Uncle Gutty did as well. Seventh Doctor, we went with Remembrance of the Daleks, because it was a very good time travel Dalek story, playing on the past of the series and the show, and just a good episode. Or I would have to go with Battlefield, which was a nice little sci-fi King Arthur series. And again, related back to the earlier episodes. I was just dropping in the comments there my favorite episodes for each Doctor so that we had it for continuity. And if people wanted to look back and see some of these or to remember them, that we would have them here.
That's a good idea, actually. When I dump this on YouTube, I'll be sure to put in the highlights there so that they can find it all.
Yep.
But yeah, it's actually a good look back at the classic stuff.
Yeah, we're up to New Who now.
Yeah, this is going to be a little tough. Number 9, Eccleston had 1 season, 13 episodes.
Yep.
Man, I can see right now, top of my head, there's 3 I like that are top notch, no question. All right, I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say Dalek was my favorite.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Although
Rose was excellent as well.
I had Dalek. Yeah,
a fantastic way to kick the series off.
Rose is the perfect way to reboot a series, get people to speed, and not having to know what's going on. It's just it's perfect. Dalek was I would almost say a perfect episode. Yep.
My only regret with Dalek was the title. I wish they did not call it Dalek.
Like Metaltron or something, right?
Yes, because it spoils the surprise a little bit. I mean, the Daleks were the most famous enemy in the show. You knew they were coming back at some point. It was fantastic, and when you first see the Dalek's eye light up, the hair on my arms stood up from excitement and from fear and from everything. And it was fantastic. But I could just imagine how much more impactful that would have been if I didn't know that a Dalek was going to show up at some point.
They said, like, the Collector, the museum, anything else other than Dalek.
Yeah.
They might have given it away too in the coming next kind of thing. But yeah, because even they do the big reveal, it's like, wow. And also that episode, you get so much backstory in 10 minutes of what's going on before the new Who. Like I said, it's a perfect episode almost.
Yep.
I also put The Empty Child on there as well.
Yes, those were spooky and creepy and awesome.
As Hemi Cake said, that Blink was kind of scary. The Empty Child was actually kind of scary, actually.
Yep. I'm just looking back, and let me see if I can share this screen for a second here. There we go. This was just a little tweet that somebody put out back in April 24th, 2020. They were doing rewatches. This was during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they had the writer, Robert Sherman, on, and Nicholas Briggs, who was the voice. And they had all these people who were doing this watch along or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And they were tweeting out whatever, and I commented back that it was one of my all-time favorite episodes. I really do wish, though, that they'd named the episode Metaltron, because the Dalek title really killed the suspense on this one. When that eye lit up and you didn't know they were coming, that feeling would have been fantastic. The writer replied back, to be honest, it would have probably halved her audience. The episode was always seen as a potential second launch in case the ratings were flagging. It had some heavy lifting to do. As it turned out, the show was a hit anyway, but we didn't know it would be. And that absolutely makes sense. The Daleks are a known draw and a ratings winner. Not knowing they were coming, though, my goosebumps would have had goosebumps with the reveal. Maybe knowing was a good thing. I know what you mean in an ideal world. Yeah. And it's a fine Doctor Who tradition anyway. We thought that at the end of part 1, the plot twist could be the surprise appearance of Daleks. Excellent. What are we calling the story? The surprise of the Daleks. Cracking. Yes.
That makes sense though, because like I keep forgetting. Like it's easy to look back now. Like when the New Who launched, it was really unsure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they had one season to go, and that's like we'll see what happens.
Yep. And like they said, a possible second intro if the ratings weren't holding up.
Well, that's true. Basically, when win two
kind of
parts.
have to, when you've got Connor McDavid in your lineup, you know fans are paying to see Connor McDavid, so you better put Connor McDavid on the ice.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't hold back, but you don't want to like.
Here's another analogy, and this is a very true story. My chiropractor used to be a physical trainer and bullpen catcher for the Texas Rangers back in the 90s. And he caught Nolan Ryan and stuff, and he talked to George W. Bush when he was the owner of the Texas Rangers way back when. And he said, George, just have Nolan pitch on Saturdays because everyone comes out to see him. You don't waste him. Shuffle the rotation up or whatever. The team wasn't doing that great anyway. Have him be the draw on Saturdays to fill the stadium because everyone was coming to see him. So when you had Nolan Ryan in your lineup, you pranced him out there and let him do his thing, but you do it when it made sense, or should do it, he thought, when it made sense. Do it when you can get the biggest audience and the most tickets sold.
I must admit, yeah.
The Daleks are the same thing.
Yeah,
If you've got them in your arsenal, put them out there and I guess announce it so that everyone knows the Daleks are coming.
And I must admit, the way they present it too was still a surprise. It was still like I said.
Oh yeah,
an impactful episode.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah. So the Tennant Aaron, the 10th Doctor. This is going to be a tough one, I think.
There are so many.
Yep, I've got 3 off the top of my head. One obvious winner, obviously, but I've got 2 others I really, really enjoy.
Do you want me to go first here, or?
Sure. You pick School Reunion.
I picked School Reunion.
Not on my list.
School Reunion. That episode, I cry. Seeing Sarah come back and seeing K9 and seeing the dog die.
Spoiler alert.
Even though it's a robot dog.
It's a powerful episode.
The dog gets fixed.
It's a powerful episode, but I think
that was a fantastic episode and cemented that link from old to the new, and in the most perfect way.
Tennant's portrayal of the Doctor is perfect there because
up
to that point, you kind of forgot he had 9 other regenerations.
Yeah.
When he reunites,
you forgot about the first 8.
Yeah.
And a lot of the audience didn't know about the first 8.
No, and when he
they had no idea really. A lot of them.
And when Sarah Jane sees the TARDIS and meets the Doctor again, just the look on her face and the way he talks, he's talking not as the 10th Doctor, but as
that scene was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Oh, it was perfect. Absolutely.
And you didn't need to know anything about the past. He told you all you need to know in that scene.
Yep. I also loved the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit, 2-parter.
That was a good one too. Again, not on my list.
Yep.
The Satan Pit was good.
Yeah. Blink, obviously, was fantastic.
Blink is my go-to one.
But it's a hard one to. It's a great one to recommend, but it's a tricky one to get people hooked on the show because the Doctor's not really in it.
No, exactly. Yeah. It is my top, but yeah.
Yeah.
Still though, what a great episode.
Yeah. Another one of my favorites, Unicorn and the Wasp. because that showed Donna just great.
Yep.
And
That is
the
one of the better
Agatha
Donna
scene,
episodes.
I loved it, and it was kind of lighthearted as well.
It was actually.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me.
Yep.
Would be The Girl in the Fireplace.
Oh, good episode.
I said Doctor Who is romantic. Well, maybe he broke the rule in that one to a degree.
Yeah. And the Banana Daiquiri.
Exactly. And my third one,
and I believe the tie he was wearing in that episode.
Nice wits.
Look at that.
And this may come across as kind of a strange third one, but I really like it. It's The Family of Blood.
Ooh, yes.
But
based on a novel. What was the novel called? It was Human Nature. It was the name of the first episode.
Yeah, that was the name of the episode. But what it is, though, is I don't care for Human Nature or most of The Family of Blood. It's the last 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Really solidifies.
Basically, when you see the struggle to get him back and the decision how he comes back.
And that epilogue.
Powerful stuff.
We think the Doctor is benevolent. Not always the case, basically.
Don't piss him off. The one scene, the one shot in that finale, that wrap up that I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
The music just like, and his foot comes down into the scene right there in the camera. He just steps on, and then they whatever. It was just loved that shot. Loved that shot.
It's like I said, that Family of Blood is a very it's well written and paced.
Yep.
But man, is it ever shot well?
Yeah.
Then we're into Mr. Smith, Matt Smith.
The easy one to say, and this gets everybody's or the popular fan votes as his best episode, is Vincent and the Doctor.
That was not my top 3, definitely.
That was a very good one.
It's hard, isn't it?
I'm gonna have to go with The Doctor's Wife.
I picked that one too, actually.
Yeah.
I got a third pick. It's gonna seem a little interesting, a little weird. What is it? Is it no. Where he meets the Dream Lord.
Amy's Choice.
Amy's Choice, yeah.
I think, right? No.
Yeah. No, let me think about here. Let me see here. Yes, it is that, basically.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if Amy's Choice was that one. Oh, the girl who waited was the one where she was like went in the wrong door or whatever.
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad either.
That was decent. Yeah. I did also enjoy, what was the one with what's his name? The Late Show guy.
I know exactly what you're thinking. I was thinking the same thing. Lodger.
The Lodger, yes. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
James Corden. He's a dink.
That's it, yes. I enjoyed that one too because it was a fun Earthbound story, and at the time, I was not enjoying the companions.
No,
and I didn't like a lot of the ways they handled Amy in the show, trying to force her into a relationship with the Doctor on her wedding night, and it just seemed heavy-fisted.
Yes.
And I did not enjoy that part of the show. So I enjoyed an episode without her, even though Karen Gillan is a fantastic actress, and I really enjoy her. And I did grow to enjoy Amy as well.
Where
that was the era though, where he tried to make the companions, I think, bigger than the Doctor.
That's true too.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's fair because I don't care for Donna Noble as a companion.
yeah, I
I just annoys the heck out of me. Sorry.
I really like Donna as a companion
Yeah.
because I think she's the most human and relatable one. She doesn't have any superpowers. She's just there for the ride and enjoying it because this adventure she went on opened her mind and opened her to this bigger world, because before she was dense as a cup of water.
Very true, actually, and shallow to a degree.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And then the tragedy of Donna comes at the end, where she has
Exactly.
to get all of it.
Oh man. Then we got Capaldi, right? Who I claimed is one of my favorite doctors.
Yes.
Oof. I've got again. I'm gonna pick three that I like.
Hmm.
I think are pretty are my favorites, anyways. I'm not sure anybody else's though, but one of them basically is his first one. Breathe, deep breath.
Yep.
Pardon me. Only because you weren't sure what kind of a doctor he was. Was he evil? Was he good? And he even asks at the end, "Am I a good man?"
Yep.
Which I thought was brilliant.
Yep.
I know it turned a lot of people off. They did not like that portrayal, but I thought Deep Breath was really good.
Yep.
Then I'd go with basically Heaven Sent,
Hmm.
which is a really strange episode
Yep.
when it starts out, and it's kind of hard to follow. But when you get to the end, it all just kind of falls into place. And
Yeah.
a lot of it is just Capaldi by himself, talking to himself.
Yeah. And again, a companionless episode.
Yes. Then I gotta admit though that 10th season, that 10th season's hard, like to really pick one from. So I keep going back. I think I'll go with Under the Lake and Before the Flood.
Those are really good. Those are
Only
really
because I like the Bootstrap Paradox.
Yeah.
And that was one of the four. So
Yeah.
those are my best from the Capaldi era.
I've got two or three now
Okay.
from Capaldi that you said there. I hadn't thought of Heaven Sent. I forgot about that one for a minute there,
Mhm.
but that was a truly excellent episode. I loved Flatline,
Mhm.
which was basically our doctorless episode of his era, because he was trapped inside the shrinking TARDIS the whole time.
I forgot about that actually.
And Clara really shone in that one. But when he came back, the speech was cheesy as anything. But that was Capaldi putting his foot down and stamping his mark on the role.
Absolutely.
And Thin Ice was an excellent one, with the Winter Carnival and the monster under the ice.
Yeah.
And
That was good actually. That was really good.
how it tackled the class structure, and it tackled racism, and it tackled everything kind of all in that one episode. And it was a good episode as well.
Yep, actually, and it was that was a really solid episode. Thinking
Yeah.
about it now.
Yeah.
Jodie Whittaker, the 13th Doctor.
Okay.
I've only got two. I'm gonna pick.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Oof.
And you'll be surprised the two I pick.
I'm just typing mine up here. Hang on a second.
And this is where I felt that, like, I knew near the end of the Capaldi era, the last 4 or 5 episodes, it was getting tired. And they're trying to make things more than the Doctor, which really doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then when we had the reboot into Whittaker and Chernobyl running it, it just never found its footing for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. I've got to go with Rosa or the Witchfinders.
Rose is definitely on my list as one.
Again, it was a powerful historical episode.
There was a lot of them, and that were straight historical. It was very, very little sci-fi. I found.
Yep. And Witchfinders was just a cool episode, and Alan Cumming as the
Yes.
Witchfinder General. was fantastic.
I like the Demons of the Punjab.
Okay, yeah,
Another
that-
historical one.
yeah.
Yeah, that was,
And
it was
it's a nice throwback to what's her name's family.
Oh yes.
Yaz. Yeah, I want to say Naz for some reason. Like, that's not right.
But after that,
Brain farted.
12 and 13, I hated the whole Timeless Child arc and the Flux. I just
Yeah.
hated all of it.
Unfortunately, Russell Davies has said he's not going to unwrite what Chibnall did.
No. I'm looking forward to see what he does, but
It would be very easy to unwrite it.
yeah.
One quick little line. Oh, the master lies. He made that up.
Folks, all you can do is if you make it that far, you'll watch, you understand. But
Yeah.
for lifelong Whovian fans, some of us, it was hard to.
Yeah.
So my thing about that is basically there's 60 years of Who, right?
Yep.
Eventually, you either start rewriting the story or the history, or it's going to get overly complex.
Mhm.
Because part of the thing about Doctor Who is the mystery. Why is it called the Doctor? We don't know.
Yep.
What's his real name? Well, only he knows, but he can't tell you for reasons.
Yep.
And again, during the Smith era, they started making this whole thing up about what they're going to do, the big reveal of his name and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Part of the attraction for me Doctor Who was the mystery.
Yep.
Where did he come from? How the TARDIS work? What was his name? We just took it all in stride.
Do you have a favorite companion?
Oh,
Classic and new.
classic favorite companion?
Yep.
I'll go with Leela, definitely.
Okay.
The
Yep.
Huntress.
Was it because of the leather bikini?
I just like basically that the Doctor was never a fighter, so she
Yeah.
was basically the muscle form. I'd go
Yeah.
with K9 if that counts as a companion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's
Yep.
your favorite classic companion?
I would have to go K9,
Mhm.
but I would also have to go Liz Shaw.
Liz Shaw's a great pick,
Liz
actually.
Shaw, I really loved her for the same reason I loved Zoe. So, now I've got 3. Crap. This is hard to make a top 1 list here.
It is hard, and there's no real ones you're going to say I absolutely dislike.
Yeah, no, I liked Liz and Zoe for the same reasons. They were scientists. They were smart. They were not quite the Doctor's equal, but they were on the
Close.
same footing.
Yeah.
And because we, the audience, were the companion, we felt smarter, and the Doctor wasn't treating us as a child or anything. We were being treated as his equal in those episodes, being able to help fight the evil and stomp the monster and solve the mystery and come up with the answer, which didn't necessarily involve your fists or blowing something up.
Well, that actually reminds me. I'd almost put Nis up there too, as well as a classic companion, because
Yep.
she was smart enough to fly the TARDIS,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, smart enough to actually rival the Doctor in some cases, right?
Yep. Yep.
Which I thought was being, I hate to say it, a positive female character was pretty rare back then.
Mhm.
So about that. So modern companions.
It's funny
Oh, sorry.
that the 2 that I picked were these smart, brilliant examples, and they were both women. They didn't really write the male companions that often or that well.
No.
In the early days, they did. I mean, you have to respect what they did with Jamie.
Yes.
And Jamie would be your Leela. He would be the Doctor's muscle.
Yep.
Ian Chesterton was written well as well. Ben, Harry Sullivan, Turlough, Adric, they were just kind of there.
They were kind of there.
They weren't really fleshed out that well. Stephen was good. Kind of a precursor to the Doctor's muscle, but he was also from the future and all that, so he had a little bit more going for him. But yeah, the most popular or the best companions were women, and
I agree.
what's surprising right now in this conversation we're having today is that the 2 of us, neither of us picked Sarah Jane, who is widely regarded as
Yeah.
the favorite companion because she was around for the longest. and she was an excellent companion and was the bridge that brought into New Who, and even had her own spinoff.
Which is a great spinoff.
Yep. Aimed at a little younger audience.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yep. But it was a great spinoff. But yeah, neither of us picked her, which is,
Nope,
is
in-
kind of
Yeah.
surprising. Yeah.
Surprisingly, since I watched a lot of Baker,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no, it didn't really cross my mind to put her as one
Yeah.
of my favorite companions.
Yeah.
So we're in Modern Who, right? Oof.
New Who, favorite companion.
Well, I'm gonna go with the obvious one. Go with Rose.
Okay. Yep. I'm going to go with Donna, because for reasons I've already said. But I'm going to go off the grid here and pick another one who I really enjoyed.
Okay.
Astrid, played by Kylie Minogue.
Wow. Okay.
Because you got a bit of that class structure in that episode and all that stuff. It was basically the Titanic in space. But you had this character who just wanted to go and see the stars and go adventure with the Doctor, and willingly gave herself to him to do this, and just wanted to go and have the adventure.
Exactly.
And
Good pick.
it was just brilliant. And Kylie Minogue was fantastic. She was one of the best guest stars you could have.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
That's a solid, fun episode.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other modern companions, but apart from Rose, to me they're just there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it, they're just there. Like Martha, Donna. Yeah.
Bill was really good, actually, and came into her own there.
Actually, Bill was good. Did come into her own.
Yep.
I actually must admit, that's a good point. But like none of them really sing like the older companions, to me,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that? Yeah. Now that I think about it, I think the problem with the modern companions is a lot of them. I don't know. Like you said, they try to make them bigger than the Doctor.
And I think that's why you kind of have to stick with the RTD companions in that era, because the Moffat and the Chibnall years, they changed the role of the companion, and not in a way that I think they should have done. But I mean, I'm just a fan out here.
Exactly.
I think that trying to elevate them didn't work and should have been tried.
Or beyond the Doctor, technically. Yeah, I gotta admit, because that's what kind of like. Yeah, that's funny because I think about the past companions, like you mentioned, like Adric and Ian and all that kind of stuff. I think they were there as part of a vehicle to tell the viewers what was going on.
Well, they were. Yep.
Doctor, what is this? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Blah 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 blah. That's the same with Leela. This is strange. Blah 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 blah.
Yes. If you didn't know, Ian's last name wasn't really Chesterton. It was Exposition.
Oh, that's a good one, Switz.
But you're right. That's what they were there for, right?
Well, that's what I'm thinking about now. There was a way to basically say, hey, explain this to me, what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm running through my head of all the classic and modern companions, and yeah, I really can't say that a lot of them they're fantastic. Like, I kind of look forward to when they change companions,
Yeah. Yeah.
To see what happens.
I would like them in the next series, which they're not going to do, but in a future series, we've had our companions lately all be modern humans or our era humans.
Yes.
I would like them to do a companion either from the past, like they did with a Victoria, who was from the 1800s or whatever she was from.
Yep.
Or even a Jamie from the 16 or 1700s or wherever he was from, who are getting this culture shock, this knowledge shock of, holy crap, there's electric light, let alone space travel. I think that would be a really interesting concept to revisit. Or we get an alien companion instead of a human, so that the morals and the judgment don't line up with our own, the audiences, so we can see a bit more of that with the Doctor. I think that would be really cool again.
That'd be a solid idea. They've done that in the Audio Ventures, the Big Finish Audio, and I would love to see that. So I think that's a good suggestion.
Yep. If you're listening out there, Russell.
So what else you got? I see you got a lot of pictures.
I got a bunch of pictures here. Yeah. Obviously, I am a big fan. One summer, I was forced to take time off work because they said I hadn't taken a vacation in 100 years. So what do you do when you have 100 years of vacation built up or whatever? You build a TARDIS.
I love this thing.
So I built my own shed and built it in the shape of a police box. And it lived in my backyard for the longest time. In the middle of building a new one because this one has sadly succumbed to the elements. Now in the front yard, and it's just at the corner of my deck at the front, so you can see it from the street.
Oh, can you?
And yeah. It's just between the deck and that giant pine tree that I've got there. So you can just see it peeking around the corner. And people take pictures of it, which is kind of cool. A woman from down the street came over to ask me about it, asked me where I got it. Well, I built it. Oh, this is incredible, whatever. I was a police officer in London 40 years ago, back in the 60s, and this is what we had. And she like, this is really cool.
Hemi says you're on Instagram. Slide of those DMs.
Yeah.
When I come down to visit Switz for the Niagara Falls Comic Con, I make it a picture, take a picture of the TARDIS, and it's always fun to take a picture of. For those that don't know, playing at home, this is the Doctor's time machine, his vehicle.
And what a brilliant idea!
Oh, it's brilliant.
You could build the Starship Enterprise, but that's a massive set. And when you're on a budget, why not make your spaceship a phone booth? And your cheat is that it's bigger on the inside than the outside because it's dimensionally transcendental. So you open up this little box, which fits conveniently into any studio or set, and then you will walk into another set, and you've got your control room, which is basically my background here is one of the control rooms.
And you can make the inside as big as you want because it's infinitely big.
Yep. Rooms upon rooms upon rooms.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful concept, and like I said, the TARDIS, as it's called, could change shape at one time, but the circuit's broken.
Yes. The chameleon circuit, which theoretically your ship should blend in with its surroundings.
Yeah, literally like a wardrobe.
Yep.
And this thing has been so classic, like it's instantly recognizable now.
Yep. Iconic.
Yeah, and it is like the wardrobe, and I think it's great. Yeah. We make jokes, right? Is it the TARDIS kind of thing and stuff like that?
What I really enjoyed was seeing the TARDIS in other works when it came to Harry Potter, because you had what's her name with her bag that was bigger on the inside than the outside, Hermione.
Hermione, yeah.
And you also had there was a circus or something with giant tents that were bigger on the inside than the outside as well in one book, I think.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love this concept.
Yeah.
And your build is awesome. Like it's so sharp.
And when you have a TARDIS in your backyard, you have to take pictures of it with the full moon and stuff like that. I mean, you're required to. And when winter comes, you take it out and go for a ride.
See? There you go. So how many Doctor Who costumes do you have? Do you just have the third Doctor?
Yeah,
you got third Doctor. Okay.
I mean, I've got not really costumes when I have like the tie and shirts or whatever, basically. But yeah, I like I say, I love the third Doctor, so he's my go-to costume really for Halloween or for Comic Cons or whatever.
You did a great Master last Comic Con. That was fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
Master.
Yep.
I'm thinking about going as number 2.
A little under the radar that one was, because not everyone knew who it was.
No, but you know what? The people that matter did.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
We always
Yeah.
stop by and see the Doctor Who Society of Canada, and they immediately recognize Mr. Switz. So I thought about going as number 2 this year because I've got the hair.
Yeah.
All I need is a frock coat, a rough
Yep.
shirt, and ugly pants. I'm halfway there.
Well, the thing you have to remember about him is you need a really poorly fitting clip-on bow tie.
Which is easy to acquire.
Yep. You need, and the shirt is a light blue.
Which
It's
is-
not white.
It's not hard to acquire. Yeah.
A lot of
It's-
people think that it's a white shirt, but it's not.
It's the coat that'd be the hardest thing to get just right.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
it has to be a baggy, ill-fitting coat because that's the way he was.
Yeah. There you go.
Perfect. The Third Doctor
The Third Doctor. Yeah.
with his
Yeah.
opera cape.
Yep.
Yeah, part of the fun of the scandalous blue shirt. Part of the fun of watching Doctor Who and when he changed regenerations was what will be his costume.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he would change his costume too, and you always look forward to it, the big reveal.
Yep.
That was a part of it. Baker had a scarf and so forth.
I think that the most popular Doctors are the ones with the best hero costume. And what makes a hero costume is the cape. And the cape can be several things. The cape can be John Pertwee's cloak with the cape aspect to it.
Yep.
It can be Tom Baker's giant scarf that flowed and flew behind him as he ran, because there was a lot of running in Doctor Who.
14-foot scarf.
Trench coat that floats like a cape behind him. And I think
Doctor.
that those parts of the costume just elevate their characters to that hero status that much more.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're looking for old episodes, they're on Pluto TV at random. Tubi now has them all.
Oh, nice.
I just discovered that, and they have the first Doctor, second. They're all split up by Doctor. As you go into them, they're all listed there.
Well,
It's
very
fantastic. Oh yeah, any excuse to wear a cape in my book is absolutely good.
Good. They're also all available in my basement if anyone wants to come over.
Exactly. I'll be there in June.
All right.
The new Doctor Who stuff in Canada was on Crave. It's still there. It will be moving to Disney Plus, I think, in 2025.
We've got the 60th anniversary of the first special coming up on Saturday. Now, that's going to be on Disney Plus.
It will be on Disney Plus.
Do we know what time it will be on Disney Plus? When can we watch this?
I think it drops at midnight, but I'm gonna double check really quick.
Okay, all right.
And again, if you want to get into Doctor Who and you want to watch, I just watch the 60s. Just watch the special.
They're going to have throwbacks to the past episodes. They're going to have callbacks to everything. It will be a great episode. It will be a great one to jump onto. You might be a little confused as to what's going on, but I'm sure they are anticipating new viewers because this is a move to Disney Plus, and they're renumbering everything now because they were on season 14
Season 14
with Jodie Whittaker.
Yep.
And or season 13 or whatever they were on. And when the new season starts, which I believe it starts next year, because you've got the 360th anniversary specials over the next 3 weeks. Then you've got the Christmas special, which is Ncuti Gatwa's first episode. And then you've got his season after that.
Yep.
When they do his season, they're going to redub it season 1 on Disney Plus. And at first I thought, why are they doing that? That seems ridiculous. They explained it. It's because when people see this popping up in their Disney Plus menus or whatever, if you showed them season 15, they're going to be confused or they're not going to watch it because
they're going to watch it.
Where do I see these other 15 or 14 seasons? Because they don't have the rights to those ones to air yet.
Absolutely.
So they're starting off as season 1 on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yep.
I got the date and time. So it is going to be the 25th, but get this.
Yep.
1:30 p.m. it should be released.
Okay, so they're coinciding it with the UK release on BBC.
6:30 p.m. in the UK. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Okay.
I-
Which
I-
makes sense. See, that's okay with me.
I got another piece of trivia for you too,
I'll be giving blood at 2:00 anyway. So
and I'll watch it in the evening. Probably Shree when I have time. I won't watch it
Yeah,
premiere
yeah.
like because for me and Shree, it's like we watch it together.
yeah. If you all have time and the ability, go and donate some blood.
Absolutely.
I'll be doing that on Saturday, but I'm not donating blood. Actually, I'm donating plasma because they've changed the clinic here to just a plasma clinic.
Here's one for you, Switz.
Okay.
How long would it take you to watch the classic series, all 26 episodes and specials, if you watch them back to back to back?
Can I watch them in the vortex of time and space?
If you watch them in order at human speed, absolutely.
Human speed.
It just popped up when I was looking for the Disney. I said Disney time, and it popped up.
I'm going to say it's going to take you. Is this in a ideal world where we don't have to sleep?
Yes, back
Okay.
to back to back.
Back to back to back to back.
Yep.
I'm going to say like 2.5 months.
Pretty close. 21 days, 22 hours, and 30 minutes.
Really?
You
Oh.
plow everything that was available. You think about it, though, right? Because even though we have those seasons, we're still missing 100 episodes.
Yeah. Well, I've got the audios for those, so I could listen to them. Because the BBC put them all out on CD.
And it's kind of funny. How long would it take you to binge watch the rest of them? 7 days.
Like a day. Yeah.
7 days to binge watch them all.
No,
I must
okay.
admit, I do without breaks basically.
Yeah.
I used to basically. I haven't done it this year. I would rewatch New Who from start every so often. I would just start watching it.
Yep.
And it's a good rewatch, believe it or not.
Yeah. It's a fantastic rewatch.
I don't watch the old stuff as much. I kind of watch old stuff individually on a
I
whim.
was just say I pick and choose for the old ones.
But
Yeah.
but the new one, I start right at Rose, the first one,
Yep.
and just start going through and
Yep.
and I power through. I must admit I stop at Whitaker, but that's another story. But I watch them actually, and sure watch them with me.
So 1:00 now or 1:30 you said.
1:30 p.m. it's saying basically on Disney
Okay.
Plus.
So this episode is called The Star Beast.
Yes.
And the Star Beast is Beep the Meep, who is the little white furred creature in the middle there,
Sorry, beep the beep.
who the doctor is protecting. And the thing about the Star Beast is I'm not sure how close they're going to stick to it, but this story has been told before.
What has it?
This story has been told before in the first 2 episodes of the Marvel Comics series, Doctor Who, that was in '84.
Oh.
Yes, there's Beep the Meep right there, right behind the Doctor, being protected and huddled by his human friends.
It looks
And you've got
close.
the aliens there that are hunting Beep the Meep, and you've got the same aliens there. Those are the Worth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they are in the 60th anniversary special. I recently reread those 2 issues because I wanted a little touch up. I remember reading them years ago, and I'm curious to see how close they're going to play it. I don't know if what I know is a spoil. Well, it would be a spoiler, or if it's going to spoil it for me, or if it becomes pretty obvious pretty early on what's going on. I don't know.
I think it's going to be pretty obvious pretty quick.
I don't think that they can play it too much for the surprise aspect of some things, because this story was written 40 years ago, or almost 40 years ago.
Well, with most
Or-
Doctor Who,
Or the inspiration for the story was written 40 years ago.
with most Doctor Who episodes, if they're bringing back something that's been referenced,
Yep.
really quickly they're going to say, oh, I remember I met you in the past, blah, 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 blah. Or else, this is the first time I met you kind of thing. It's going to be one way or the other, and it's going to happen really quick.
Yeah. I'm sure that this will be the first time that our 14th Doctor meets the Meep.
I think so, yeah.
And the Worf. But I'm curious if the story is going to hold true to what they did in the comics.
Here's something.
Now, I can, if you can find them, read them maybe after the episode.
Here's something I want to say to you, Switz. Here's a wild conspiracy theory.
Yep.
So, you may not be realized fans, but the 14th Doctor has taken on the face of the 10th Doctor. We don't know why yet.
Nope.
What if he says, I've done this before?
Yeah.
See, this is the fun part about Doctor Who, is it does keep you guessing.
Speculating.
Yeah, it does keep you guessing, and they're not afraid to do stuff like this. Like, wait a minute, I've done this before. What's going on, kind of thing.
Yep. I guess it kind of falls into, where do the comic books fall into canon? Are they canon?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. These comic books were really, really cool, with art by Dave Gibbons.
And they weren't that old, because I see the price is like $1.50. That was like, what, 90s?
No, this was 84.
84? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were all $1.50.
Okay. So I'll show you how long since I bought comics. They are doing modern comics too of the
Before that, Marvel did do a series, a 4-issue series in Marvel Comics Presents or Marvel Premiere, and it was all Tom Baker episodes.
Of course, yeah,
because he was on at the time,
and he was very popular.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they did 4 of them there.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure how soon after that they spun off into the full series there. I want to say that these ones here were reprints of UK stories.
I would have to say, because I was going to ask you, wasn't Doctor Who a newspaper strip?
And these guys were 50 cents. so there was obviously a $1 price jump between the 2 releases.
Yeah. Doctor Who newspaper strip, basically.
Yeah.
Holy crud! Launched in '64, ended in '79. Interesting.
Yeah.
But there is a modern comics too of the Doctors.
Oh yes. I don't a lot of them. I think.
I don't know where they fit in the canon at all.
Tough to say. I mean, because Doctor Who and BBC do such short series, they really had a lot of time to fill between seasons sometimes, and the comic books just kind of took off.
Yeah, and they're still they're still writing 9, 10, 11 stories like their stories.
Yeah.
So
that's the brilliant thing about the whole series, is that you can write these stories and plunk them down somewhere in the timeline. It doesn't have to be in the linear flow of the seasons, because the Doctor changes companions. The Doctor goes off on his own. Even in season 1, where the only companions were Rose all the way through, you could have Rose go to the bathroom and, I'll be back in a minute, and he goes off for 5 years and has 4 adventures and whatever, and comes back, and she gets out of the loo.
Well, even in the Matt Smith era, Amy says, we heard from you in months. Well, I've been traveling.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they just kind of wrote that in there. Actually, implicitly said, "I'm doing other stuff."
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I haven't read any of the Doctor Who comics, like the new stuff.
Yeah. Well, because there's so much.
Well, exactly right.
Yep. I did read some back when they first started putting them out. I got turned off on a few of them because I didn't like the art.
Oh,
and as much as I liked some of the stories they were doing, I was like, the art just isn't doing it for me. So I'm not going to waste my money on art that I don't enjoy, even if I like the story. Yeah.
That's a very fair a fair judgment.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. If there's a good story about bad art, I struggled through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a pretty amazing ride for Doctor Who. Like that gap. I remember when it went off. It just went off the air. Didn't say it were canceled, just off the air.
No. I mean, the last lines were the Doctor saying to Ace, "Let's go. We got work to do."
Yep.
They went, and then you expected them to come back next season, but they didn't.
No, and you just waited and waited.
When I remember watching that because they were airing those episodes, not live, but
Nope.
like those same weeks or whatever on TV Ontario, they were lined up. And I remember watching that episode, and like, okay, great, what's next? And then they showed, I think, a Patrick Troughton episode the next week.
Well, here's something interesting. I did some research on that because I want to know when Doctor Who came to America.
And also remember, this was pre-internet.
Yep.
Really. So, or pre big internet where you easily accessible internet. So
Absolutely.
we didn't really, there was nowhere to look anything up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I looked this up.
Yep.
First try was in 72 to bring Doctor Who to the States.
Yep.
It didn't catch on because they didn't understand what it was.
Yeah.
It finally caught on in 78, running on PBS.
Yep.
And problem story. More importantly, in Canada, as you mentioned, ran on TVO.
Mm-hmm.
It got here in 76.
Yep.
And everybody that lived along the border, like of Canada, could pick it up and see it.
Yep.
Funny thing is, though, we were 2 years behind the present episodes.
Right.
What we were seeing in 76 was broadcast in 74. So when it went off the air for us, it went off the air in 91, even though it was already off the air in 89 technically.
Okay. Yep.
That was kind of weird. So, but again, with no internet, we didn't know it was actually off the air. We just like, okay, so what happens next?
Unless you happen to have a friend who lived in the UK that you would phone and talk to this about, you wouldn't have any idea.
No. And like in the UK, they have like toys and books. They have magazines.
Pen pal back then.
Yeah, Doctor Who magazines, right? Like totally. Yeah. Here we had nothing. We had no merch.
The Radio Times was their big
Yeah.
TV guide sort of book, but it also had interviews and articles and all that stuff. And a lot of it was Doctor Who oriented.
And that's where all the news came from. But
yeah.
So it was kind of as a Who fan, like I said, I enjoyed the show and it went away and we just said, okay, what's next kind of thing. But
yeah,
much like you and I, yeah.
Yep.
We rediscovered it later and we're grateful that we did.
Yep.
And when the new series came out, was there merch galore now?
Oh yes. You know what's crazy?
What's that?
I'm the biggest Doctor Who fan I know.
I have same here. I know you are the man.
Well, okay. I mean, the Doctor Who Society people are possibly bigger fans than I am.
Maybe.
We're giant fans.
Yes.
I had no idea that the series was coming back at all until 2005. I had heard nothing about it, had nothing, because this was before Facebook. This was before social media, really. I was sitting in the living room with the ex-wife and the kids, and I think I was probably changing a diaper or something like that when I heard the Doctor Who music come on TV. And I spun. It was a Saturday night, and it was Hockey Night in Canada, which is on CBC.
Yep.
And I was doing something with the kids in the living room, and all of a sudden the music's hit. It's like, what the heck is that? And then I saw the commercial that they were saying that the series was coming on, and she says to me, "Yeah, didn't you know it's coming back or whatever in like 2 weeks?" I had no clue.
Same. I was watching a CBC.
That music was just, oh wow, that got me.
I was watching a
Even
CBC.
though it was different, it was the same.
Oh, exactly. We knew the theme tune, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. I was watching CBC because back then I still had cable and didn't have much to watch.
Yep.
And all of a sudden it's premiering. Like, what?
The CBC co-produced the first few seasons.
Yeah. So, and I remember being hyped for it. You know what I used to do? I used to tape it so that Trin and I could watch it together when I come back from teaching night.
Yeah, we were back in the days of VCRs. So yeah, we taped them all because you didn't know if they were going to ever put them out on DVD or anything like that.
No, and
why would they? This was a British TV show.
Yeah, and Hemi Race is a good point now. Trade Office now we're in the era of Netflix canceling everything after a season.
Yeah.
Than they used to. Like long running BBC series is not basically a phrase you're going to hear too often because
Yeah. Well,
they, yeah,
Coronation Street.
and maybe Doctors and Doctor Who, but that's rare, right?
On the buses.
Yeah, pretty rare though, right? They're usually write nice tight dramas, moving on, do something new kind of thing.
They're more the mini series or whatever.
Yeah. Even now, like the new Who is 14 seasons deep, 13 seasons deep, basically.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of, in my opinion, in modern times.
Yep.
It's like and then now we're at the point now where even if we go back a bit to Orange is the New Black got like 7 or 8 seasons on Netflix, or The Crown got 6 seasons. That's the rarity, right? We're not going to see these long running shows anymore.
No,
Remember,
remember,
that good.
The Crown is not necessarily a Netflix show. The Crown is a BBC show,
That's true.
co-produced or
Co-produced.
co-financed by Netflix now, right?
Good point. And like Hemi Kick, that's why I know it's funny though, is we Canadians appreciate British drama and British television shows because
Well, because of the Queen.
because of the King. Da, 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 da. Well, if you watch a British show, it is not like bam, boom, bam, boom, action cuts. It's a very methodical drama. It's good drama, but it's very methodical. Williams Internet, Sirius Succeeds. Yeah, it used to be that way. Like you could have done a writing campaign to keep shows on the air. Now, forget it. Not in this day and era.
Yeah.
And now it's all about the bottom dollar. Like
You can start doing a writing campaign to get a show canceled.
that is easier.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But that's why I think it kind of sucks. Is like I love Doctor Who. I love the length of it, but will we ever see another? Heaven forbid. I'm going to say this right now. A sci-fi series have legs like this again.
The only sci-fi, you're not going to see a sci-fi show that has legs like this. You will see a sci-fi series, and that's Star Trek. But that's because they can branch it off into 8 different shows. They can branch it off into Lower Decks and Strange New World and Picard and Next Generation 7 and all that stuff.
Writing tweets, yeah. Get canceled in one tweet. But Star Trek is a franchise, right? It's kind of cheating quarterback because it's been on since the 60s.
Yeah. You could. That's, I think, the only thing that you'll see close to it.
Yeah, because I think of stuff like, well, I got to go back to the 90s. There's like Farscape, which ran for a few seasons. That was sci-fi. Stargate had legs forever as a TV show.
And spin-offs forever. Because you had Stargate.
Of course, it was cheap to produce,
Stargate
right?
Universe and Stargate Kitchen episodes. And
Atlantis. Battlestar Galactica got 4 seasons. It was expensive.
Yep.
But again, though, that was a sci-fi channel production, not a streaming production.
Yep. Yeah. This was all network stuff you're talking.
Yeah. The Expanse.
Because sorry, who had Battlestar Galactica? I always say it was Fox, wasn't it?
I thought it was Sci-Fi Channel.
Might
Sorry.
have been Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
X-Files would be your other
Fox.
longest running thing.
From the 90s television series, right?
Yeah.
The Expanse was interesting because it started as a TV series, I think.
Yeah.
And then got too expensive, and Amazon finished it after five seasons. But yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see basically. Well, like I said, a good drama is going to have more legs than a sci-fi because of the audience appeal, basically, for sure.
Yeah.
But spinoffs, absolutely, and if it's a good spinoff.
Yeah.
As far as with Doctor Who, we can probably wrap it up soon. Can you think of shows that Doctor Who has maybe influenced? I just thought about that. I know that a lot of shows basically reference it.
Yeah.
Like The Simpsons referenced it 100% a couple times.
Yeah. Quite a few times. Yep.
Yeah.
The episode where they had the heads of television and they had Tom Baker's Doctor Who in the bunker there when Sideshow Bob took over the television transmissions.
And the comic book guy saying I bought 100 tacos for the Doctor Who marathon.
Yeah.
And he said Warehouse 13 referenced Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Was Canadian, wasn't it?
It was Canadian.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I have to go and look it up, but I know for a fact that even when it was off the air for the period of time, it was still being referenced by shows about time travel and stuff like that, or The Box.
Yep.
But yeah, because that's what Doctor Who influence has had upon society. It to me basically Star Trek has had a big in your face impact. Doctor
Yep.
Who has had this subtle I see what you did there kind of impact.
And built the foundation for a lot of sci-fi concepts
Oh yes.
for their version of time travel. Sliders. There you go. Yep.
Perfect example.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Back to the Future.
Yep.
With-
I hate to say it. Anything I think of time travel, I automatically go to Doctor Who, and everybody goes to Doctor Who, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were several episodes in the first season of Star Trek Next Generation that I thought were direct Doctor Who ripoffs or homages or whatever you want to call it. There was the episode with the Traveler,
Yep.
who appeared here and there, and that was a Doctor Who version. I thought there was the episode where they had the AI came to life with the little mining digger things.
Exocops. Yep.
Yeah. Or no, the there was like life inside the dirt or something like that. That was
That too. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and those were like K9 to me. The Borg were Cybermen.
What about Matt Frewer, the time traveling thief?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Matt
gotta
Frewer-
say though,
I believe Canadian.
I think you're right. Actually,
Mhm.
I gotta say, anytime I think of
Also
every time
Max.
what's that?
Also
Yes.
Max. Yeah.
Which I love, which I absolutely love. But
Yeah.
you're right. Anytime I think of time travel or see time travel, I immediately think Doctor Who.
Yeah.
There's no question.
There was the South Park episode where Butters was trying to come up with some scheme or whatever, and the line always was Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. When I see time travel in other properties, I often think Doctor Who did it.
I do
Yeah.
too, actually.
Yeah. And a lot of times did it better, but I'm a little biased.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think you're right because I'm going to say something pretty bold here.
Yep.
Time travel isn't the point of Doctor Who.
No, it's a vehicle for the story.
Exactly. It's not about now. Granted, there are some things where he does do a time travel paradox focus.
Yeah.
But on the whole, basically, it's to get him someplace to have an adventure.
Yeah.
That's alien,
Yep. Usually, there's time travel once an episode. Land someplace, and now I'm going to fix this. Or
Yeah.
here I am, and let's see what happens. Oh, they're being oppressed, or they're being enslaved, or they're being killed by aliens, or whatever. I'm here
Have
now.
to do something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then, okay, adventure solved. I'm going to go somewhere else. But
Well-
once, yes, you will have to, I got to go back in time to figure out what exactly happened and then come back and fix it.
Yeah, where there's some shows I just so hung up on time travel. I just okay,
Yep.
it's
Like
too
Runaway
much.
Bride. Ooh,
But
that was
it was kind of funny. I forget where I read it though, but one of the guides to write a Doctor Who episode is to separate him from the TARDIS and his sonic screwdriver.
I have a love-hate relationship with the sonic screwdriver.
Mhm.
I think it's a great prop and a great toy and lots of fun. I also think that it is a crutch for bad writing now.
That's why it's a kind of an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
Fans at home, the sonic screwdriver is a tool the Doctor carries. It's meant to be a screwdriver, but it can do
It
basically
started
a
out
billion
as a
things.
screwdriver.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, a lot of the episodes were let's tie him up or chain him up or lock him up, or let's lock something behind this door that he can't get to. And well, rather than punching his way through or shooting the lockout, they gave him a screwdriver that was sonic to do that.
Yeah.
And it was eventually it became a magic wand.
And
And
yeah.
too powerful, especially in New Who. But there was a time in the classic series, it was the episode The Visitation with Peter Davison with the pteroleptils, where they shot the screwdriver and blew it up. So he didn't have it again until, well, they basically wrote it out. They didn't have it again until the TV movie.
Yes, they did write it out completely.
Yeah. He had other tools here and there or whatever, but never the screwdriver to rely on, because it became too easy. Every trap he got put into, sonic screwdriver. Well, we're going to lock this up and keep this away from a sonic screwdriver. And the new series really took advantage of that a lot of times, where it became a tricorder almost, where the doctor scans something and, it tells me here that you're reading mostly human. And it's like, well, it's a screwdriver. It shouldn't be able to do that.
Or I can track something or whatever. It was, yeah. When you watch New Who, folks, you're going to see that a lot, and you'll kind of just roll with it. But I remember that for a long time, separating the screwdriver was kind of key.
Yep.
And same with the TARDIS. Technically, the TARDIS is a vehicle, but it's also indestructible.
Yes. And it's home.
Yeah. So, why does it just go back in time 10 seconds kind of thing? Again, another thing that it is an excuse for lazy writing.
Yeah.
Which I think is basically, Doctor Who doesn't suffer too much from that, but when it does, it is blatantly obvious.
Yeah. I remember an episode of Third Rock from the Sun where Tommy and whatever French Stewart's character's name was were sitting down. They decided they would write an X-Files episode.
Oh, gosh.
Their big plan was to kill off Mulder and all that stuff. But French Stewart's character was like, and we'll have a picnic. Like, that's just lazy writing. What are you doing? No, I want to have a picnic in there.
Oh, man. His name was Harry, I think, wasn't it?
No, Harry was John Lithgow's character, wasn't it?
I can't remember. Is that terrible? Look at every horror disaster searching out as the TARDIS malfunction. The Doctor never showed up. About that, Miss Emmy Cakes. At first in Classic Who, the TARDIS was kind of broken. The Doctor didn't really have any control over it. It just went where it went. And later on, it became known that it took him where he needed to go for disasters and stuff. Like I said, it's, you got it. You got it, Hemi Cakes. And you know what? If you watch New Who, this will come up as a question once or twice too. Speaking of X-Files, we should do an X-Files episode. I'll be honest, Switz. I didn't watch a lot of it when it was on.
Me neither.
I watched the first 3 seasons recently, though.
Okay.
You know what? It was damn good writing, actually.
Yeah.
Within reason, because that was the days of having to do 22 episodes a season. So you'd get maybe 10 or 12 good ones, and then you get some ones that are like, "What the heck are you guys doing?" Hemi Cakes goes, "Yes, X-Files." But yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun because
Sorry, I just want to show this here when the Doctor or the TARDIS doesn't show up in the right times and stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a classic Doctor Who joke.
Yeah.
Hemi Cakes, I need an hour dedicated to just a monster of the week. Oh my goodness.
Are we talking about my ex-wife again? Oh,
hey-o! Well, monster of the week became kind of a slang for basically, we need a filler episode. Give us a monster of the week kind of thing, right?
Yep.
And X-Files did fall into that. Well, it fell into that quite often. Give us the monster of the week kind of thing, right? Before they started kind of doing a little bit of story arcs and stuff like that. And like I said, I went back and watched the first 3 seasons. There's some pretty good episodes.
You know where they had the inspiration for X-Files and Monster of the Week and all that stuff from, right?
Please tell me where it came from, Switz.
Kolchak on the Stalker. It was Darren McGavin.
You know where that came from?
Well, probably Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yeah, I was gonna say it came from Doctor Who. Their films are glorious because whenever someone talks about basically a standalone or a poor Doctor Who show, they call it Monster of the Week because they said, "What are we gonna do this week? Give us a monster we'll never see again, and he'll beat it." The end.
Yep.
Their films were their glorious. I wouldn't mind talking about X-Files. Like I said, it's.
We'll have to do some research on it, and it's going to have to wait probably until next year.
Yeah, I'll do some research on it because like I said, I watched the first 3 seasons. I've seen the movies. I remember the cultural phenomenon when it was on in the 90s.
Yep.
Plus the impact had on Vancouver when it was shot out there.
Yep.
And now it's kind of just faded into the back.
Do you want my my Doctor Who relationship to X-Files?
Please.
in the Doctor Who TV movie, which was filmed in Vancouver, the Doctor gets shot and taken to the hospital. The hospital is not the original color it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be yellow, but it got painted green, or the other way around. I can't remember which, because X-Files came in and repainted it to match the color they needed for their episode a couple weeks before, and they just decided, yeah, we're not repainting this. Screw it. We'll just shoot with a green thing or whatever it was.
That is awesome, actually.
Yeah.
I remember we were shooting out there.
Yeah.
And I was out there a couple times for business, and I was out with my friends right at a couple of festivals. There was a guy who looked like Skinner, who was like Mulder's boss.
Yep.
He was offering X-File location tours. And I thought, this is the most brilliant marketing I've seen. He looked just like the guy.
Shave your head.
Shaved head, the glasses, the suit, and everything. He's going to take you around to show shooting locations of X-Files. I thought that was the most brilliant thing I've seen.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, Doctor Who, like, it's never left
It's never left the public's mind.
Yeah, pulp culture. The TARDIS pops up once in a while for fun in London. They have a hoot with it. They had a Doctor Who experience. Where they'd have costumes and props. Apparently, they stole a card of like $2 million and they left, but that's another story. We won't get to that kind of thing. But like
Gallifrey being the name of the Doctor's home planet, first introduced in the Time Monster, Time Warrior. Sorry, Time Warrior with the Centaurans, and Sarah Jane's first episode. Gallifrey 1 is the long running Doctor Who convention down in LA. Yes. And it's in February. And I got my passport renewed. You want to go?
No.
What? Come on!
It's expensive, man. I got to pay out Christmas and stuff.
You
should go, though. You should go.
This is your own Christmas to yourself. Who cares about Christmas?
You should go, though.
I'm thinking about it.
I would pull the trigger on that.
People.
Now I'm curious. It was the episode that possessed plastic surgeon for X-Files. We got everything about X-Files.
I think that was the whole series of Nip Tuck, wasn't it?
Hey-o!
That was a weird show.
We will keep that in mind for you when we look at that. We will find what that was.
Yeah.
Speaking of conventions.
No. Go back now. Let's go. Let's go to LA.
I'm not going to LA. I already traveled last year, so I'm gonna, like I said, I got.
You haven't traveled next year yet.
What's that?
You haven't traveled next year yet.
I'm gonna go to Toronto in May, and
Toronto doesn't count.
No, but I was gonna ask you about Niagara Falls Comic Con. Will we get a Who guest this year?
I don't know. Apparently tomorrow we get our first guest announced, and they have a spider web background. So there is rumor and conjecture. Is it tomorrow or is it today? Did they announce it already?
Tomorrow, 11 a.m. They said.
Okay, so there's theories that it's going to be either Tobey Maguire or Sam Raimi.
It won't be Tobey Maguire. I'll tell you that right now.
No,
I'm going with Ted Raimi.
Ted Raimi. I would Ted Raimi, not even Sam.
Nope, I'd go with Ted Raimi, his brother, or Bruce Campbell.
If they're doing Bruce Campbell, they're not putting up the spider web. They're putting up the Army of Darkness or Living Dead or something like that.
I know, but they put up a spider web. We know it's going to be Tobey Maguire. He's got better things to do.
Does he, though? What's he doing?
Yeah, trust me. He doesn't do cons. Andrew Garfield?
Andrew Garfield?
No, seriously. That was the joke because he's supposed to be filming Frankenstein in Canada someplace. That was the rumor.
All right.
I don't think it'll be Tobey Maguire. I'm thinking it's going to be maybe Garfield. I haven't looked at that exact pattern of the spider web.
I think Garfield's bigger than Maguire, so I think Garfield is busier and more hireable right now than Maguire is.
Well, you see the other ones I saw that come up.
No,
J.K. Simmons.
Okay.
J. Jonah Jameson. Okay.
Yep. I would really love to talk to him because I've loved all his movies. I've loved Whiplash, and nobody did a better yellow M&M than him.
That's true. I also saw William Dafoe.
Really?
I did see one on like real
Really?
guys. Yes. I know what you guys are smoking down there, but I don't think William Dafoe's going to show up in Niagara Falls to sign autographs. Like, God.
He's getting older. Did you really expect Ron Perlman to?
Ron Perlman, yeah, because he's in everything.
No. Okay.
Yeah, but I cannot see Tobey Maguire. Like, I didn't Google Tobey Maguire con appearances
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah.
because that's a good indication, right? That's why I immediately thought Ted Raimi.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you know what.
I think it might be Sam Raimi.
You know what? If it's not Sam Raimi or Maguire or Garfield, people are gonna basically get the pitchforks out right now because
For the tease they did. I'm gonna say if it is Sam Raimi, you're gonna get Ted as well.
oh, absolutely.
He's gonna hang around. He's coming around.
No Tobey Maguire comes up for conventions. Sean Maguire. No. Let me try Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield.
Who was also in Doctor Who.
Andrew Garfield has popped up at the Comic-Con in San Antonio.
Okay.
So that's a possibility.
He could be our Doctor Who guest because he was in Daleks Take Manhattan.
Oh my God, dude. Wouldn't that just be like, congratulations, we got you a Who guest as Andrew Garfield.
Here's your Who guest. He was in 2 episodes.
I think it could be Andrew Garfield.
Okay. All right. I don't know who it could be. I don't know.
All I know is if it's not Andrew Garfield, people are gonna like get out the pitchforks and
Yeah.
But that means basically very soon, probably next spring, Switz and I will be starting Niagara Falls Comic Convention Deadpool again.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Where we will pick basically who we think will not be coming or coming.
We're gonna lay our odds. We're gonna put our bids down for autograph prices.
Yep. And photo prices too. And it's always a good time. Switz won last year.
Yep.
And he would have beat me too. Oh, go ahead.
I barely won last year, I think.
We had that last minute cancellation really that was really horrible.
Yeah.
But you would have beat me at HorrorCon because Corey Feldman showed up.
Yeah.
So Maguire's last thing was technically Spider-Man No Way Home in 2021.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he's not that busy.
He's Garfield.
Oh, okay.
We Live in Time is to be determined.
Yeah.
One of the band of him was a television show.
Mm-hmm.
He's got lots of time, but Maguire really seems like I don't want to talk to anybody nowadays.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back here.
No problem. I would like to see Maguire at Comic-Con, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Niagara Falls Comic-Con always hypes up their guest appearances and all that, and we have a good time trying to guess. Like I said, we got to temper expectations. Toronto always draws big guests, so we know if it's going to be Toronto, I would say Tobey Maguire. There's no question. But this is Niagara Falls Comic-Con. We're going to scale it back a bit, and I'm going to go with Andrew Garfield on the outside. Basically the outside chance, but more of one of the Sam Raimi, the creator of it, basically. And I will get Swiss to commit to an X-File. Like I said, Old Man Theater. Like I said, I was one of those guys who didn't watch it when it was on. I thought it was overhyped, and I was along for the ride. But when it was on, you couldn't get away from it. It was everywhere in our pop culture. They weren't just on TV. They were on magazines, trading cards, everywhere. They got a spin-off show of The Lone Gunman, which I watched, which I thought was pretty good. Several movies. Like I said, it was just something that I'm kind of sad I missed when it was first time around, but I'm glad I have the opportunity to watch it now. And like I said, I'm through the first 3 seasons. Pretty crazy stuff right now. I'll be looking forward to watching the season between the 2 seasons because they filmed in Vancouver, I think, for the first 6 seasons, and then they moved to LA to finish the last 3 seasons. I want to see if the show suffered or anything changed like that. Filming in Vancouver was great because Vancouver has different biomes. So if you need a desert or a forest or a mountain, you've got it there, no problem. And different cities. LA, you got LA basically.
All right, I'm back. Had to empty old man bladder.
Yeah. I'm just talking about X-Files. Look,
Yep.
when am I doing that? I want to see if the quality of the show changed between the season they moved from Vancouver to LA. I want
Yep.
to see if that changed basically. Because Vancouver is great because you've got different biomes. You can shoot desert, forest, mountain, no problem. LA is LA. There's no question. It's LA is LA. Like when they're traveling around like in Vancouver, like when they're in X-Files where you got to go out to Texas, they're in Vancouver. You know, they just
My
redress stuff like that.
my ex-wife's cousin, or cousin and her husband, worked on the X-Files, and they worked on Dark Angel out in
Oh,
Vancouver.
really?
They were like drivers for them. They would like go and pick up the stars and bring them to the show and stuff like that.
X-Files was a major economic boost for it.
For Vancouver, yeah.
I'm looking at that Niagara Falls graphic, and I'm pretty sure that's a Garfield spiderweb. I'm not sure.
You know what my thought was when I saw it
What was that?
was that it's going to be whoever the voice actor was from the original 60s Spider-Man cartoon.
I think he's dead.
Oh, okay, well, then
That's a good guess, though. What about the 90s one?
But I thought that would be something like that.
I'm just looking through it now. One Spider-Man actor, and one guy goes Kermit Canham, who was a Spider-Man in the 70s TV show. which, again, if it is the guy from the 70s TV show, heads will roll.
Oh, the guy from like the 70s?
Yeah, he's still alive. He does cons.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Someone said, hey, how about Christian Dunst?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah. Oh, someone says, oh my God, please be Tom Holland.
Yeah, right. Come on. Tom Holland's not doing anything.
Heavy Kicks is a stock image. I put money on Andrew Garfield because he'll be in Toronto filming Frankenstein at the same time. Another one for the TV, TV Spider-Man. Oh my God!
I'm thinking voice actor.
Well, they're saying Nicholas Hammond, who did the voice of Spider-Man in the 80s, 90s.
Okay, because it looks animated, it looks cartoony, the graphic.
I must admit, let me look that up.
It could be that they just chose it because it was the first one they found, or it could be they chose it for a reason.
Oh
No.
Oh, you know what? I think you may be onto something, Switz.
Ah.
I'm checking out right now on YouTube. That web is looking like it. Yeah, Hemi found it's basically a generic. Boo! It is a generic. Boo! It's like a generic thing they actually just copied and didn't put the watermark on. Damn.
www.removewatermark.com free image.
But
Scan.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Garfield.
Who was the animated voice in the 90s cartoon?
I gotta look it up here. I got it up. Christopher Daniel Barnes.
That's who I say it is.
You think so?
I mean, this is pretty far out from the convention. This is 7 months out. So you're not, it's pretty hard, I would think, to lock down a AAA headliner this far out. So I don't think that it would be somebody that big.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Garfield just because on a whim.
I mean, I would love it if it was, but I don't think it will be.
So here's some interesting trivia about the voice actor for the 90s Spider-Man.
Yep.
He's been on TV in Clueless, Rails 90210, lots of other stuff. Also was a voice of everybody but Spider-Man in the Ultimate Spider-Man, or whatever, in 2016.
Yep.
And get this, he has a voice credit for Police Quest 3: The Kindred as Sergeant Sonny Potts.
I was going to ask who he was in Doctor Who.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you know what? I think it'll be Garfield, but I don't think he's going to show up.
Well, he's filming. I mean, that's another tricky part too, is that you don't know the schedule of the shoot this far out. Something could happen, like a grip breaks an ankle and delays shooting by 3 days, and those are the 3 days that now he has to be there. which were your convention days.
Or basically, if he has to shoot that day, too bad. I got to go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying Nicholas Hammond, who was basically the guy who played the TV show. So, but I'm gonna go with Garfield because they want to get people hyped up. Because, no offense, last con was a little weak.
Frightmare was a lot stronger.
Oh, I was so jealous of Frightmare.
Stronger. Yeah.
And I hope they get us a Who actor this year. Come on,
Well, Garfield ticks that box, but
Oh, I know it's a cheat,
with,
but he's a
with a very light pencil.
But they do that though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna get a doctor. I don't think they're gonna spend money on a real doctor. But I sell for companion.
I talked to the guy when we were shutting the store down, and he asked me like, "Oh, you're a fan. You go to these things. That's great. Well, what would you do?" And I said, "Well, hey, you got to reward the Doctor Who people because the Doctor Who Society of Canada is there every year, and they're doing a good job, and they're raising money for charity for children's hospitals.
Absolutely.
Throw them a bone. Doctor Who is still one of the most popular properties in the world, and it's still raking in money. So give these people, these fans, a bone and give them a Doctor Who actor, writer, something." And he said, "Well, who would you go with?" And he said, because we looked at somebody. I think he said he looked at Matt Smith or something like that. And it was like, they were too much. I was like,
yeah,
understandable. You know what? These people would be happy with a classic companion even.
Yep.
Oh, really? And I said, yeah, get like Jamie McCrimmon, get like Fraser Hines. Get one of he does the conventions over there a lot, I believe.
Yep.
He would be a draw for the Doctor Who fans. More so the older ones, obviously. But if you could get a Martha, if you could get a Donna, if you could get Freema there, if you could get Catherine Tate, if you could get Billy Piper, I mean,
Billy Piper, yeah,
is not out of the realm of possibility, I don't think. If you could get one of them, you would bring in the new fans, obviously. They would, the fans would go crazy for it.
I would even go with Rose's mom.
Yeah.
Jackie Taylor.
Camille, I can't remember her last name.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
I actually will probably be going as not Dave Foley again.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should say that, Hemi Kicks, because the Doctor Who Society comes every year, and they bring their TARDIS and their dogs, which are amazing.
They've got a console now, eh?
They've got a console now.
I want to see it. I want to see it badly. And I hope next year.
They raise a lot of money for this.
Well, it is, but
okay, they raise a lot of money for the Children's Hospital. They're great.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but yeah, we've been pushing the con to get at least a Doctor Who. Like, no offense, I'm running a con. I'm gonna give you a Star Trek, a Star Wars, and a Doctor Who person. It could be someone who was in the shop for 3 seconds, but you're gonna get somebody.
Well, in 2020, we were supposed to get Sylvester McCoy again.
Yes.
Doctor Who 7, but pandemic canceled the whole thing.
Yep.
And he's getting older. I don't blame him for not wanting to travel overseas and to do a convention like this.
That's the other problem too, is these classic doctors are older.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
if you want a young, spry classic doctor, you go for a Paul McGann again.
That's all you're gonna get.
And I would talk to him again for hours. He was fantastic.
I would too. I would take it 100%. Yep. Because a con only has so much money budget for guests, depending on the size. And like I said, attendance not showing up.
We did some math on it there, right?
Yeah.
We did the math. If you check back to your DMs or whatever there, we were talking about how much they probably pull in on a weekend.
Yep.
And we figured that a AAA star pulled in, what did we say, like 60 grand or something like that?
60 grand, about that, yeah.
Yeah, for a good weekend.
Yep.
And that a B level or a low A would probably pull in like $30,000.
Yep.
And that ain't chump change.
No.
If I'm anybody and someone, I don't know how the whole thing works. I don't know if the convention pays to get them there or not, or just invites them and pays for their travel or something like that just to get them there?
No, I'm pretty sure they pay. Well, if you're an A-lister, they pay your appearance fee. They pay them to show up.
Yep.
And they pay for
And
their
then you
hotel and
keep
their
whatever
flight.
you get. We were thinking just for the photos and stuff.
Yeah.
That 30 to 60 grand is the range.
Yeah, I think some of them get to keep that too. Like they say the convention sets the price, right? Or the people at the table set the price. I don't know.
They set their prices. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do know the Taker when he appeared, he cost. I'm pretty sure it was something like 20 grand an hour just to show up.
Wow.
And you know, Shat and those guys are getting paid to show up.
Yeah.
I think if you're like local, you're not getting paid to show up. You have like lesser writer contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is with the Doctor Who, like you look at Eccleston just started doing cons again because he had some history with the Doctor Who. He was in Ottawa. I think it was $100 for an autograph or something like that, which is reasonable.
Yep.
Tennant's too popular. He doesn't do cons. You know, he's
too popular. He's too busy.
Too busy. Absolutely. Smith would love to do cons, but I think he's too expensive.
And quite possibly too busy because you got House of Dragons and all that stuff still going on, and you've got, I believe it's still going on, and you've got he's got to do all that stuff for Morbius still, right?
And Capaldi, I think he would do it again. Capaldi's expensive.
Morbius.
It's Morbian time. I think they're just too expensive for the budget.
Yeah. Capaldi would be affordable, I think.
Well, Ottawa did get Capaldi, Alexa Kingston, and Barrowman all the same year.
Yep. When Capaldi's not overly busy.
No.
I mean, if he does stuff, it's TV things or whatever, right? He's not being quickly sought after for whole series or whatever over here. He's doing UK stuff.
And he had that recent series where he played like a serial killer or something being interviewed. So he has been doing something.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about the cons is like Niagara Falls doesn't have a big budget, or else they have a budget, they blow it on wrestlers.
Yeah.
Toronto, I think, has a bigger budget, obviously bigger con. Yeah. But you're going to pay a bigger price for them, though.
The Hamilton convention is being redone at the Hamilton Convention Center next year. Instead of the Warplane Museum.
Okay.
I think they realized it was just too crowded this year.
Makes sense. Ottawa had a very small. They only had about 25 guests, and 15 of them were not B-listers. They were bottom there too. So it'll be interesting to see if we get. But like I said, as the Augusta announced, once we get a good pack, maybe 10 or 12 of them, we'll start doing our little Deadpool again.
Yep.
And you're welcome to play along at home.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. We should post our link to the Google Sheet or whatever, so people can throw their own stuff in.
We should actually. They want to play along because it's going to be absolutely fun. It is a joy to guess who's going to show up. And like I said, last year was just absolutely brutal because there was that cancellation 2 weeks before. That just killed me. I was so because I was looking forward to seeing Tom Berenger and he fucking canceled. So
yeah.
Pardon my language. I was so angry at that, but hey.
Yeah. It's after midnight. You're allowed to swear.
Oh, God, it's after dark.
Yeah.
All right, Switch. You want to tie up your Movember stuff? How's that going?
Yeah, we're really well actually. Give me half a second, and I will check exactly where we're at.
Switz has been doing. What's that? Oh yeah,
it's loaded. I have raised so far $545.
Nicely done.
My target of 715. Last year I raised 650. Every year I set a new target. I set a new target of a 10% increase.
Nice.
Yeah, I like to go 10% higher than the previous year, and we're closing in on it. There, we're really close. I've got a donation coming in the mail. I'm not sure how much it's for from somebody, so that'll add on. But yeah, we've got to raise another. What is it there? $170 to meet the target.
And normally you used to shave your beard and mustache, but this year you did something different, right?
Yeah. This year I decided that I would do the move for Movember. So to remember the 60 men we lose an hour to suicide around the world every hour, they ask you to walk or run 60 kilometers, a kilometer for every person. And I've done that. I have now walked 66 kilometers.
Nice, very well done.
So, yeah. It's not that hard to do. Anyone can do it. So I did. Yeah, I mean, this is a charity that is near and dear to my heart, and does a lot of good work. Does not just they're kind of a three-headed beast. They raise money for prostate cancer research, testicular cancer research, the classic men's cancers. Just stop men from dying too young because of lack of knowledge, I guess. Because
Exactly.
you should give yourself a little check every once in a while to make sure that things feel right downstairs, and get your doctor to check as well to make sure that things are where they should be.
5 minutes of shame can save your life,
Yeah. Yep.
and it's not that bad. I've had it done.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I even had a biopsy done too. It's not that bad.
Yep. The other thing they do is they raise money for mental health research and initiatives, suicide prevention, depression, all aspects of it there. They regularly tout that we're not alone, and that you should, if you're not feeling right, talk to somebody. There's always somebody out there that is willing to listen, and you should be able to find somebody that is willing to listen to you. We're here. People want to talk to us, you know how to find us. We've got social medias out the wazoo, so contact us. And you need just someone to spout off to, go ahead, we'll listen.
Pem Quats is also a mental health champion, and he's trying to put his animated gifs up. Hard to see him on his stream elements, but he likes to say it's okay to not be okay.
Yep.
And I always say, speak out, get help. Someone's always listening. And
Yep.
Pem will say, Pem's a great. If you if you have something on your mind, Pem will listen.
Yep.
Can't be your
Yep.
therapist, but he can listen to you.
Yep. We might not be able to give you proper help, but we can give you advice, and we can listen.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's all any of us need, is just someone to listen
Absolutely.
to whatever we're rambling about, or to whatever's bothering us, or to whatever is getting us down. And sometimes it's an actual conversation with somebody. Sometimes it's just a tweet or a post or whatever you put out there that you hope that someone sees and someone replies to. You don't always need an answer from somebody, but sometimes it's nice just to hear or to notice or to recognize that someone is out there listening to you.
How long have you been doing Movember, Greg? You've been doing it for a while now, haven't you?
11 years.
11 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
I
said,
want to
this
say
is
11 years so far. Well, yeah, since 2013. So since 2013, I've raised $3,841. It says here.
yeah. This is a cause that's near and dear to Switz's heart.
Yep.
Like I said, not use a pun. He walks the walk and talks the talk.
Yep. Yeah, I put the money where the mustache is.
That's awesome, Switz.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Movember, a lot of people were confused by it, and a lot of people mistakenly thought it's a contest to grow a mustache. Oh, well, you've got a great mustache, you'll win this. It's not a competition. It's not a mustache growing contest. The idea behind it is to, with their hashtag, change the face of men's health. And by growing a mustache or shaving yourself off and starting fresh and growing a new mustache, you're changing your face. It's something that people will notice, something that people will ask you about, and it's about starting that conversation. And you can do it for any reason you choose. You can do it for whichever of the three heads that is nearest and dearest to you. If it's the mental health, by all means. I mean, that's a very high priority for a lot of people. You may have lost someone in your family to testicular cancer or prostate cancer because they went undiagnosed. So to be able to champion it for those reasons is excellent as well. There's no right reason to do it, or no one right reason to do it. You can do it for any of them. They're all equally important. And I'm glad. Well, I always had a nice mustache, as many of you may know or may not have known and have not have seen me at my best, but my mustache used to curl up with the best of them. And in fact, when I shaved them off, I saved them and laminated them because they were routinely commented on and routinely mentioned, and they were a trademark. As you can see, our little Switz TV logo has my mustache on it there, because that was how I was known. I'd worn that mustache for 10 years.
Easily 10 years.
10 years at the store.
Oh, easily that long, yeah.
Yeah, and would wax it up every day and all that stuff. So it was a change to remove that and to regrow it, and to start the conversation, because people would be shocked, like, why did you shave your mustache? Well, this is why.
And it works for you because I can't grow a mustache. Yeah. I can't grow one. So it's nice that we have other ways to participate in November. I always feel left out because I can't grow a mustache.
Yep.
But I can walk.
That's why I'm glad that the foundation has expanded it to the Move campaign as well. And they did that really 2 years ago, because they had a lot of us Mo Bros, and they opened up to the Mo Sisters, so women could participate in it as well. And obviously, a lot of women can't grow a mustache, as a lot of men can't either. So they opened it up to the Move, because it's not just about raising money for the research, but it's also about raising the awareness of what affects our own personal healths. And there are a lot of us who are stagnant and sit around at our desks all day long and put on those extra 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 pounds through inactivity. And the part of the message is, we want men to live longer by beating cancer, by stopping prostate and testicular cancer, and by helping them with their mental health. But we also want them to just get healthier in general, and walk a few kilometers a day just for your own health is never a bad message. And the fact that they've expanded it to that is nice.
I was going to say, I like how you brought up the fact that it isn't about just shaving and trying to grow a new beard. Yeah. Because that's the danger of it sliding into. Because when I thought of that, I think of the Pink Ribbon campaign, right? Yeah. The whole point behind the Pink Ribbon, to me, is almost lost now, right? It's just basically, okay, everything turns pink this month to sell pink stuff, right? Yeah. But I like the idea that basically the whole idea is to get attention, to raise awareness by having changing your appearance. That's something I never thought of before until now.
When you see, I saw a buddy of mine at work yesterday who stopped in and said, "Oh, he's got a nice mustache. You doing November?" He says, "Well, kind of. I mean, he had a little accident at work and burned his lip, and so it hurt to shave. So he's growing a mustache." Oh, said, yeah, why not? I'll raise some money for it as well. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, excellent.
But because this guy's been clean shaven since I've known him from back in 1989 or 88 or whatever, how long I've known him, always been clean shaven. It stood out. It made me start the conversation with him, the dialogue. And
Yeah.
when you see anyone who all of a sudden is sporting a new mustache, or someone who had a mustache and shaves it off, and
Well, yeah.
your mustache go, and then starts a new one, it starts that conversation.
Well, with you, basically, like I said, your handlebars was your trademark. Like,
Yeah.
you grew that after university, not too long afterwards. You've had it
Yeah.
for, well, a couple of decades, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when that vanishes, it really starts a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
lose 10 years, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
that's great, Greg.
Or the gray. Yeah.
Yeah. Reed Richards cosplay.
Yeah. 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 Well, why do you think I do Doctor Strange?
Yes. That's great, Swets. I'm glad you're close to your goal, too. Like I said, you're in striking distance. You got another 6 days to go.
Yep. I did I'm on all the social medias here.
Yep.
And I post this stuff, my progress and all that stuff, pretty much daily. Yesterday, I put a post up saying that I've got some prizes that I'm going to give out to some random donors. So tomorrow, I believe, I will post a video of what the prizes are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Switch is on Facebook and Twitter, so give them a follow.
Picked up, yeah.
You pimp your socials, because they should follow you on Twitter and
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
If you're tired of listening to my retro rants, you got to go see what Switz has in store in his social media. Like I said, he has been diligent about posting his progress for Movember.
I'm pretty much G Switzer everywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Except Twitch.
Yes. Well, for this sort of stuff, I've kind of rebranded wherever, but to keep it separate from just me. And the G_Switzer is just me. That's where you're going to get my thoughts and ideas and rants and raves and really bad jokes and occasionally really good jokes. Yeah.
That's one of video store stories on your socials.
Yeah.
Oh man, we still need to do an episode of the store.
Yes, we do.
We call it the store.
I'll have to send you the pictures that I've got, and we'll have to put them together into something cohesive.
Put it like a little Google Sheet slideshow for you.
Yeah, we'll do something with it or whatever. It'll be a little nicer than just popping up slides or whatever. Yeah.
Your store was an icon though, so it's like
I was at the grocery store the other day and it was, oh, you must be famous. It's like, well, what do you mean? Well, you're the That's Entertainment guy.
That's it. Yeah.
We're so sorry that your store closed. Well, thank you. Yeah, we all
showed up and bought stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But That's Entertainment was the name of your video rental / convenience / check cashing /
everything store.
Everything store.
Yeah.
14,000 square feet.
14,000 square feet.
Yeah. Rented DVDs, sold used DVDs, music, you name it, it was there. Anime. Switz has lots of great stories because wasn't just a video store. Switz had a lot of great cutting edge ideas that kept him ahead of the curve when a lot of stores were shutting down.
And it was a destination in town.
Yeah.
And there was cool stuff that happened there. There was not cool stuff that happened there. There was dumb stuff that happened there. There was funny stuff that happened there. One of my favorite stories was when a kid came up to the counter with Malcolm X in his hand and asked if we had Malcolms 1 through 9.
True story.
Very true story. I didn't know if I should be shocked or proud or just embrace the fact that this kid actually knew what Roman numerals were, but didn't know who Malcolm X was.
I used to harass your staff when I came in to visit.
Yep.
One time, they thought it'd be good to everybody wear these little vests that were plaid with Looney Tune characters on them.
Yep.
And I went up to the counter and I was making chat. And I said, "That's a great vest." "Oh, well, thank you. My grandfather has one."
Yeah.
Bam. But like I said, I managed the store. Like I said, when I was living there, it was my go-to to get everything, to rent and eat.
Yep.
And when I would come by for my annual visit, I would spend an hour or two combing through your used bins because it wasn't just like, the odd trickle. There were some serious treasures we had there and really good deals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we need to think about the store sometime. Like I said, it's a shame it's gone.
Yes.
And I wouldn't mind seeing it come back in a smaller format.
Yeah. It'll be hard.
boutique video stores now are now coming back in vogue.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been 2 or 3 little stories about a guy who opened like a little tiny, 400-foot store and like in his back, whatever, and it's just, oh, it's so popular and fun. So that's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I might know where to get the server.
Do you still have the dot matrix printers?
I don't have those, but yeah.
You've got the server. If you want to start a video store, Switz is halfway there.
Yeah.
He's got the server.
I got the server. Who's got the capital? Yeah.
You still have the vests?
Oh, of course I got the best.
But yeah, I've seen news stories. They're coming back in like little tiny
Well,
boutiques.
there is streaming fatigue. People are getting frustrated with the streaming services. They're getting frustrated with the prices of the streaming services. They're getting frustrated with the disappearance of content on the streaming services. They're
100%.
getting frustrated with, I wanted to watch this and it's gone now.
100%.
Yeah. And physical media, they can't take it away from you.
No.
It's in your cupboard back there.
It's the vanishing off of streaming that's really irking a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like you said, That's Entertainment wasn't just a store; it was a hub. People met there, like grab a couple movies before go to dinner or something like that. You got caught up with people you saw at the store.
Yep.
These little boutique video stores are turning to that hub of neighborhoods now.
Yep.
Awesome possum.
All right. So we've been rambling on for 3 hours here. Thanks to everyone for sticking around with us there. This has been fantastic. Hope you all have enjoyed the show and enjoyed the talk. We deviated slightly from our topic, but I think we stayed true to course most of the time. We love our Doctor Who, and that's what we started talking about today. And we're all looking forward to the anniversary special, which airs Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Disney Plus. Disney Plus, give us money for pimping that.
Pimping it out. Next topics in the far future, we got X-Files on the list. Yep. That's far future. If there's something you want to hear us ramble about, let us know.
I was going to say we did talk about Doctor Who. We talked about the anniversary special. The first special comes out on Saturday, and then for the next 2 Saturdays after that, there are more specials. Then you get another one on Christmas, and then we launch into the new season. What are you doing Saturday night? You want to talk about the special that airs?
I'm probably doing chores, actually.
Oh.
What we should do, though, we should save it up, and once they air, then talk about them.
Obviously, we talk about it that night.
What's that?
We could talk about it that night if we wanted to.
No, we could actually save them for like next Old Man Theater, lead off with it. Keep coming back Doctor Who.
We could do it next Thursday, or we could do it whenever you want.
Let's do it in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. We'll do that. We'll lead off with the 2 specials. I'll have to watch them.
Yeah, there'll be 2 by then. Yeah.
But what should we do for our core?
Well, we'll do a Movember wrap up. We'll let everyone know how we did there.
2 weeks in December.
Everyone out there we did touch on Movember there for a good long time there. If you can donate, please. But if you can't, don't worry about it. Holiday Classics.
I was gonna say December 7th. Let's do Holiday Classics.
Yep. Okay.
I wouldn't mind picking our favorite holiday movies.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind talking about the Rankin Bass stuff.
Yep.
Oh, Hemi's got fighting words.
I was going to just wrap up there for a second there. Even if you can't donate, if you could please spread the word and share the links. Share my links from my socials. You can find them all over the place. G_Switzer on Instagram, on Twitter, on Threads, on Blue Sky, on well, I don't think it's the exact name on Blue Sky, but if you go to one of those and find me there, you got my link tree, you'll be able to find.
You'll find you everywhere. So yeah, please, like I said, if you can't contribute, you can promote.
Yep, exactly. Help us reach our goal. This does nothing for me personally except stroke my ego like, hey, I did a good job and helped raise money to help with these great causes. I get no reward from this or anything like that. I don't get a prize or anything like that for raising the most money because I'm raising $715, which is a lot for a single person and does a lot of good. But there are corporations out there raising tens of thousands of dollars. So I know that I'm nowhere near in their stratosphere, and I don't need to be or want to be. I just want to do as much as I can to help.
Exactly.
And like I say, spread the word if you can. Even if you just want to make it harder for me next year, because I do that 10% increase on my goal. So if you want to
walking
screw
66
over,
kilometers next year.
no, I don't. I'm not going to change the. I'm not, that's easy. No. We're just going to raise the fundraising goal every year.
Okay, I'm just teasing you. Excellent.
Yeah.
So December 7th, next on Man Theater, holiday classics, Christmas movies.
Holiday classics. We will be discussing Die Hard and why it is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
It is a
Ryder
Christmas
says it is. Ryder says it is.
I'm not a big Christmas fan, but I do have a few Christmas ornaments, and I did get a new Christmas countdown advent calendar. I got the Hans Gruber falling off of
Nakatomi Tower, which I will be watching this weekend, actually.
Yeah. So.
Oh, she's got her holiday. Actually, that's not a bad idea. We could actually critique.
I mean, hashtag movies giving us inspiration. What exactly? What is hashtag movies? What?
I've got it in our Discord.
What's a Discord?
That's all right. I will send it to you.
All right. Great.
You'll what? The Ref. Come on, what's going on here?
The Ref. Well, The Ref was a good movie. Dennis Leary.
Yeah, Dennis Leary. Yeah.
Filmed in Niagara-on-the-Lake.
I'll say the image. You're gonna actually love it.
All right.
But yeah, we'll use that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind talking about. We can use Hemi's Lifts definitely, because there's some really obscure stuff on here.
Okay. Yep.
But I did watch some of the classics last year, and they have not aged well. They really have not aged well.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about holiday classics. I've got some favorites.
Yep.
You talk about why Ottawa is the Hallmark movie capital of the world.
Mm-hmm. Is it? Is it for filming?
It is now.
Okay. I would have thought Niagara-on-the-Lake would be higher.
They filmed 7 films here last year.
Woo.
And more this year.
Yeah.
Oh boy. We might just run Hemi's list.
Well, you know what I'm thinking, Hemi. You're coming on next time, and you're going to be on the screen with us here, and you're going to present your picks. You're invited. Come on down.
We'll have to haul her in here. We should haul her in here.
I think we should.
I'm going to say a list after this, Switz, and you're going to look and you're be nodding.
I mean, you're invited. You are invited to be on the show and talk about holiday classics.
I like her list. I really do.
Well, then she's got to put her money where her list is and join us here. We're recruiting now.
I'm going to be on trial. We will get you on him if you want to come on. And most
No,
definitely.
you're going to be on trial. We're going to have fun. As long as you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah, she's got 30 films on here, and they're actually like some of them are
30 films. Holy cow! I didn't
one
think
every day. Like, dude, I'm serious.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. You're gonna like it. I think it's pretty.
Do you do 30 or do you do 24 or 25?
No, I'm looking at pretty much 31 technically from the looks of it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But like, some double features. Okay. Do you take time off for hockey games?
or she hits the plane and walks away from it, basically.
Because there's the Boxing Day Classic there with the World Juniors. Can't interrupt that with a movie.
No, like I said, let's do that. December 7th, we'll do that.
December 7th. All right.
And,
it'll be the 3 of us for Old Man Theater.
Hemi's Holiday Classics.
2 old men and Hemi.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Watch the season highlights only. All right. I have not much to say other than I'm proud of Switz for what he's done for November. Awesome.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Looking forward to announcements coming out in June for Comic-Con. I love talking about Doctor Who. I'm impressed we got 60 years in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Wandered all over a bit here.
We're going to talk about it again briefly next show as well. We'll talk about it. We recap the specials.
We'll give you our thoughts on the 2 specials.
Hemi, if you're coming on next week or next time, hopefully you watch a little bit of Doctor Who before then, and watch a couple episodes, and you can maybe try and watch the specials as well, and give us your opinion on them as a new viewer, because I think that would be really interesting. I would like to hear somebody new to the franchise's opinions on the stuff.
Just watch 1 or 2. We would like to hear your thoughts on it.
You don't have to like it and say you like it just to make us happy. You can be honest. I mean, it's not for everybody, obviously.
I would like a fresh person's take on Doctor Who. Actually, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right, that's all for me, folks. Have a great night.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Pam, if you're out there. Yeah, we all have homework. I mean, I've got to put together a list of holiday movies, and humbug, I don't like the holidays. I've worked retail for too long, and I'm a bitter old divorced guy.
I've got a list, but it's more traditional than what Hemi has.
I'm gonna have to see this. Do I want to see this list, or should this list be a surprise?
No, you want to see this list because it's a long list.
Or is it better if it's a surprise for me?
Nah, you want to see this list. It's
because like I don't prepare notes for any of this stuff.
Trust me, if I say the movies, you're gonna forget about them anyways.
Oh, that's probably true. I mean, yeah. I mean, ooh. Hey, here's a quick parting thought here. As I loaded up my glass with the blue Gatorade there tonight to drink during the stream. Being nerds, do we not think that blue Gatorade is Romulan ale?
Yes, I do.
Yes. And now, would the perfect ending to Star Trek VI not have been they've saved the president, done all this stuff, but they still get arrested for bootlegging contraband Romulan ale?
Or get busted down and ranked so they can do the whole captain thing again, right?
Yeah. You guys, great for saving everybody, but you guys had some contraband there. I mean, we're gonna have to take you in and send them back to the Klingon moon.
I thought he'd get busted more for like having illegitimate children they didn't take care of, but that's another story.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, Switch.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you all for watching. I'm still on the Twitch here, right? How does I don't know how this raid thing works or anything like that. Maybe we should figure that out for next time.
I don't know. If you see someone on you like, all you do is type /raid.
Yeah.
Well, here, I'll go on quick. I'll see if you see anybody.
I don't see
any. Well, I've got more people here. Let me see here who's on Twitchy TV. And then you just like /raid followed by their name, their username.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work with the StreamYard or not here.
You just do it right in actual Twitch.
Yeah.
Middle-aged stream is on, but yeah. You don't have to read out.
Yeah.
All right. What? You gotta get affiliate though, so you get those emotes.
Yeah. Okay. I understood all what you were talking about there.
All right, Switz. Until next time.
Thank you, everyone. Keep your eyes on the skies. Keep your eyes on us. Keep your eyes on the prize. Let's have some fun out here and do some good work. And thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this, comment, like, subscribe, and all that other stuff that everyone does. And we will see you in the future or the past, because we talked about Doctor Who tonight.
Wee-oo. All right, Sits. I'll catch you on the flip side, man.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much.